and Nick wants to do some discourse.
Okay, my boy. So let's begin. You all need to look at me because I am the Larry now, and Larry here hasn't seen Captain Phillips. And here's the thing, dude. If I ever have a good movie for you that's come out that like you should see, it's like, all right, let me just schedule it in 2 years from now. Why do you make the list? Why?
Because I get to everything on the list eventually.
Eventually? What are
Also,
you?
the reason I didn't watch Captain Phillips when it came out was just because I was like, but I just watched the real thing last year.
Are you talking about with that friendship?
No, like the actual event that Captain Phillips is based on.
Ah.
Like that was like a really recent news story when the movie came out. So when the movie came out, I was like, oh, I just watched it.
Man, I anytime we got like I feel like we need support of piracy. Well, what I'm hearing is you feel like there's a quota on piracy, and all you gotta do is just meet the quota.
No, I literally just feel like I'd already seen the movie because it was made so hot on the heels of the real event.
But Tom Hanks, though.
Well, speaking of Tom Hanks movies made hot on the heels of the real event, I didn't see Sully till like last year.
Okay, yeah, but that's like a character thing.
Yeah,
Like,
that was what I was surprised by was the fact that most of it was just about the character. Good, you guys are back. Yeah, it was just scheduling and laziness is the only reason we didn't do it last week.
well, so they kind of did get us in that I got a new job, and
Yeah.
capitalism has been beating the fuck out of me. So,
Yeah, that is fair.
yeah, they've got me working overtime already. So,
At least you're getting paid extra for it.
well, yeah, don't get me wrong, money's great, but like there is no ethical consumption under capitalism, and therefore there is no ethical feeding of that consumption. But
Except for eating pussy. Eating pussy is an ethical form of consumption under capitalism.
that ain't consumption, that's symbiosis.
True.
like the fuck?
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Side of the equation, and if it is, then that's a problem.
Unless one of you is for some reason not into it.
Yeah, literally. Well, you have two options: either one, someone's not into it, or B, Ed Gein.
Yeah, I've heard like I have friends who are like, "Oh, I don't really like blowjobs," and I'm like, "Why?"
Man, I guess in theory I understand because I don't eat cake and people think I'm crazy for it. So I is it comparable? I don't know. I really don't like cake, but
like any or just you're not into most cakes.
I don't like the texture of cake.
That's fair.
Like it's like I don't like how it's fluffy and creamy but not a liquid. Like I'd rather just like some yogurt or something.
You should get into ice cream cake then, because that's a lot more solid.
At that point, why not just eat ice cream? Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Because now you're eating cake and ice cream together.
Yeah, but not. If there's one thing I know, it's that cake people are trying to make everything into cake. We don't need all that.
I don't like most candies. Well, don't like is a strong word. If someone like
families of candies.
Yeah, like if someone offers me a thing of Skittles, I'll eat it, but like I don't go out and buy Skittles, you know?
Well, okay, hold on, because there's like you have like American chocolate, you have like European chocolate, you have like American fruit, high fructose corn syrup things, you have like actual fruit-based candies with like pectin and shit.
Yeah.
And then you got like just weird everything thrown at the wall.
Yeah, the one candy I do really like is chocolate. I'll eat pretty much anything chocolate. What?
Oh, you know what?
Okay, maybe not that form of chocolate, but
so God, okay. I remember I was at a fucking Yankee swap one time, and an individual who will remain unnamed was very silly and brought a chocolate penis.
Nice.
Another individual who will remain unnamed, it was their first time going to this event and brought their kids.
Well, that's why you don't do that.
Well, no. The problem is not them. Those kids should have been at that event for a while. We were used to there not being kids because we didn't have everyone who was supposed to be at the event at the event.
Yeah, okay.
So, like, no. The person who brought the chocolate penis is kind of the problematic person because they also knew the kids were going to be there. And then we're like, yeah, no, screw it. We're just doing this again this year.
All right, that's different. I thought you meant that somebody showed up to a party that had only ever had adults at it and just brought kids without asking.
No. It was a family event that for a while hadn't had kids at it because of happenstance.
How old were the kids?
Range from like fucking 5 to 14.
Okay. I mean, they'll be fine. They're not gonna fucking die because they saw a chocolate dick.
No. We'll see. Here's where it gets funny because, like, dude, we're all like, yeah, that's funny. Obviously, we got to be careful in the future, but this is fine.
Yeah.
But now, one of children is a candy addict.
Oh no. I mean, that's not good in general, but
because of happenstance, he ends up in a spot where he takes the chocolate penis and is then jumping all around the room begging his mother to let him eat it right there. Just please. With half the guys in the room just playing this bit way too much. Yeah, let him eat it. Come on. It's a holiday. What are we doing?
The one upside to this is that the kid would almost certainly eat the chocolate penis by biting straight into it, so therefore it wouldn't look suggestive.
Depending on where he bites it.
No, it doesn't matter where he bites it.
It matters where he bites it.
If it was like an ice cream bar and he had to lick it, that'd be really suggestive.
Nah,
but
bro,
if he just goes...
Nah, bro, because there's a moment where, like, if he fucking gets the shaft sideways, he's just like, oh.
I guess, but I don't know. I'm just picturing him doing it with his teeth like this, like. So that'd be better.
It's not. We all just insisted on like trying to see how far we could push this joke, and like the kid doesn't get it, so he's now thinking these people are on his team for chocolate.
And I mean, some of them are.
We are, kind of.
Remember that party I went to a few weeks ago where my friend had his neighbor's kids there?
Yeah.
I wound up like roped into a conversation with the younger of the kids, who's like 11. Fine, whatever.
You like Ninja Turtles?
Well, it was Pokemon, but yes.
Nice. No, I fucking knew we were going somewhere.
But there were like chocolate chip cookies. And I said, and he was really into the chocolate chip cookies. I said, hey, there's one left if you want it. He goes, no, I'm good. My dad told me not to have another. And I was like, fair enough. And I just was like, oh, if you do, I won't say anything.
I'm sorry. Are we talking about chocolate bib cookies?
I mean, they were just like regular ass ones. There was nothing special about them. But
oh, you don't remember this joke, chocolate bib cookies?
I don't think so. No.
Blood gang members eating fucking snacks at a fucking bake sale.
Is this Boondocks?
No. It's just the idea of like how far the Crip blood thing goes with like C's and B's.
Oh,
so, like, you have to change your C to a B. So like, nah, man, I'm loving this Baka Bib bookie right now.
Didn't the Crips and Bloods make a truce finally?
The Crips and Bloods have made multiple truces over the years. It is way easier to like. Okay.
It's a lot easier said than done, I know.
No, it's not even that. It's like way easier to accomplish than the media acts like it is the actual truth.
Well, yeah, because all you have to do is just get the people to sit down and agree on a ceasefire. When they're like gangs of only a few hundred guys, that's a lot easier than when they're nation states.
Well, I don't even think it's that deep. I mean, I think it's more, you have to figure these are very comparable organizations. Granted, they're not the exact same. If you look into it, it's really interesting how one of them was started pretty much in like boarding schools or reformatory schools, I think is the better word. And
that makes sense.
And the other one was, I think, reform members of the other group.
Yeah, that's what I would have guessed was the case. I don't know a ton about the history of it because I didn't grow up where it was relevant.
It's just one of those things I read way back, or it might have been a podcast also I have done. But yeah, the Bloods are pretty much the result of like American Crime College for children, and then
Yeah,
like
no shit.
yeah, then like one time a certain group of them started feeling a certain way and had what we'll call nationalism, because I don't know a good word right now, but just like our group different from other group.
Yeah.
Tribalism. Yeah, sorry. I'm tired. But yeah, yeah, they just kind of went tribalistic and then made the other group. But so they're pretty much comparable in their morals, logic, and more dispute over practical terms, like how different companies in an industry go back and forth over control of like a
Yeah.
market share. Now, when do you get people in an industry to agree with each other and stop all that bickering?
When the money gets fucked up.
Anytime there's an attack from the outside on the industry as a whole, unionization and banding together has been what companies have always done. That's
Which is
why
also why the corporate world is finally breaking with Trump because he molested the money.
he molested the money. But yeah, I
I
mean,
don't even know where that term came from, but I love it.
regulatory like influences really always cause a problem for people in an industry, do they not?
Well, it depends on who the people are, but yeah, for the
Yeah, I
people
mean,
who want
well,
the industry to run the way it is.
oh well, let's say the flight industry, for example, when all the airlines like to fight each other, but then the moment that they're like, well, let's start making some laws as to how you can charge for prices, all the airlines are like, backroom meeting, we gotta fucking get this guy.
The Republicans are actually looking like they plan to go down with the ship. The politicians, for sure, yeah. Though I'd imagine before it's over, most of them will make up a reason that they were always against this.
Why would you ever expect a gang to be anything different?
I wouldn't.
It, I mean, the LA riots, Bloods and Crips made a ceasefire. COVID,
Yeah.
Bloods and Crips did a ceasefire. Katrina, Bloods and Crips did a ceasefire. Like anytime you have a problem that's big enough, they're like, okay, pause on the bullshit.
I think they finally did form like a permanent truce maybe 8 years ago. I think I heard about that on like one of my news shows.
These are decentralized organizations. I don't really find
Well,
that.
yeah, but like whatever, like the original chapters.
Oh
of each
yeah,
of those.
yeah, cool. So those two dudes in LA aren't fighting each other anymore. Good for us.
Well,
Like,
yeah, I know. It's just it sets precedent, you know.
those two dudes who are actually like 60, mind you, now because they've been doing this for that long and they founded this shit as children. Oh, good
Yeah,
for them. Like, I don't give a fuck about that. Like,
yeah.
that's
It
not.
wasn't the very original guys, but it was like the current, I guess, for lack of a better term, leadership of each side.
I always find that kind of shit shaky because, like, okay, it's like when like you get one fucking mob boss to go and be a rat and suddenly we think that we got the whole fucking end of the five families here.
Yeah, and then DiCaprio fucking lies there bleeding out while an actual rat runs by in a case of really heavy-handed symbolism.
Which movie are you doing?
The Departed.
Okay, I normally just go for the straight like mafia ass movies that always make the rats end up having a bad time off screen. So
I'll get boots on the ground and find out from the source the status of the truce. Oh shit, you know the original guys?
let's find the fuck out. It's possible.
While
Shit's
we wait for that, I do want to acknowledge one thing you said, and it's not your fault that you said this, it's just your fault for reminding me that this exists. The
what?
fact that we have a juvenile criminal justice system.
Oh, I mean, shit. I mean, it is what it is, and what it is this: children who are often minorities, but just completely impoverished, in
Yeah.
bad situations whose families are not able to provide them the legal representation or protection that's available to people of higher statuses, when those children are inevitably doing something to alleviate the symptoms of their poverty, such as theft or other crime, mind you. I'm not justifying all crimes.
Frankly, most of the time it's that they got caught smoking one joint in an alley.
Something for escapism, something for material growth. There's a few different options. But point being, you get them once, you pop them into fucking kid jail. And here's the thing: the way jail works
is that it's crime college.
Yeah, every person who has ever studied anything knows this and refuses to change anything. It is so funny how well we know crime college exists.
Yeah, it is really fucked up that like juvenile criminality is such a problem in our society that we need our own specialized branch of the justice system for it.
I mean, we don't need one.
Well, no, of course not, but the need has been felt. The justification has been made.
Do you not? I think we're going about it backwards. I think it's not a flaw. It's a feature.
Oh no, I know it is. I'm just pointing out that it's fucking insane. Like,
well, it's not insane from their perspective, because what the perspective is we want future workers, and let's be real, folks. Slavery was made illegal in America, but
with an asterisk.
But the same year slavery was made illegal in America, or began to be made illegal in America, something interesting happened. Now, Massachusetts is the first state to ever make slavery illegal, and then immediately made privatized prisons legal. This is not an unintentional gesture.
It is also not an unintentional gesture that the drugs that have harsher legal penalties happen to be the ones that black people love using.
Well, it also isn't a coinky dunk that originally it was the one that came from Mexico or the one that came from China.
Yeah, if you go back to like
drug laws are just immigrant laws in disguise. It's all good.
Yeah. If you go back to like the really early 20th century, like before the drug prohibition stuff was put into law, and you read like the scientific or even just layman's writings about weed, they always, when they're looking for the scientific term for it, they always call it cannabis. And then when the US government decided to make it fucking illegal, they started calling it marijuana because it sounds more ethnic.
Have to really lean on it, because you have to remember there was an H there way back in the day. It was a Mexican ass marijuana.
Yeah, one of the original laws that I think is still on the books, the official name of the law spells marijuana with an H instead of a J. Like, that's how old the law is.
Because that shit is just an immigrant law in disguise.
Oh, yeah, it's total fucking bullshit. Like, they know what they were doing.
Weirdly connected, all the fear-mongering about MSG. I hate that that's connected.
What do you mean? Oh, because immigration. Yeah, okay.
MSG is better for you than salt. It has less sodium in it than table salt. Yet it has been demonized because it's associated with ethnic people.
Yeah, which is really fucking funny.
Show me one study that makes that flavor savor bad. Show me some science. I swear to God, it's not real.
Oh, you'll also notice that ethnic foods are the ones that get accused of smelling bad, even though they usually don't.
Oh, well, that's more just like people, when they run out of dignified insults, if they ever had them, go to base things which are, oh, my senses are assaulted. And it's like, all right, how? Well, this music upsets my sensibilities, and these smells just make me feel overwhelmed, and I couldn't dare even taste such a thing. And now look at what my daughter has to see, and can you imagine what she'll touch? It's just the basis of it, that everything in your experience is more important than everyone else, and that somehow your experience is being upset by other people, and you've never fucking learned on a playground that you have to just share things with people, and one of those things is this planet. So, like,
now, granted, some spices do have a strong enough smell that they take some getting used to.
Yeah, but okay, like, but do you want to know what else takes getting used to?
What? Everything?
Asshole.
Yeah, exactly.
I would never say someone shouldn't clean their asshole because they're not used to it.
Oh no, like what I mean is, like, you know, let's say that some fucking guy who's never left his small town USA hometown got magically teleported to like a market in India. All right, in that case, I get it because you haven't smelled any of this stuff before. But once you've been there for a week or so, like you should be used to it by now.
He's allowed to feel a certain sort of way, but like, guys, for thousands of years we had real empires, not like these pseudo empires that we're dealing with now. And people from a bunch of different cultures interacted pretty openly, and this shit happens all the time.
My favorite fucking thing is when they talk about empires of the past, usually the Roman or Greek ones, but sometimes they throw other ones in too,
They
where
usually
they're like,
after that.
what?
Then someone usually is like the Ottoman Empire, and I swear if any fuckers bring up the Byzantine Empire, buddy, cutting off an arm of an empire and then slowly suffocating it to death is hardly an empire. You're a destination. Fuck off.
Anyway,
you know exactly what I mean.
It's just funny as fuck that they talk about like the racial purity of the Roman Empire or whatever, and I'm like, do you know anything about Rome or its history, my friend?
Not really. They're fucking idiots.
Like, it's in the word empire. Unless the entire planet is racially homogenous, empires by definition are going to be racially mixed.
Like,
either that or they're the smallest empire of all time.
No, I think this is a great example of people don't know what words mean. And
of course not.
I've been thinking a lot lately how no one knows the difference between a king and an emperor. And like, I really think of that statement like was understood by people. We just have a better understanding of the world right now.
You want to hear an old joke from Thatcher era England?
Yeah.
You know, in days of history, there were empires that had as their head an emperor. And then there were also kingdoms which had as their head a king. And now that Margaret Thatcher is prime minister, we officially have a country.
I've heard that. Yeah, that's a good one.
You can sub in any fucking figure you want, but the first time I heard it, it was Thatcher.
Well, it should be for Thatcher. Oh, I had said this to you all fucking stream. Guys, I found out Bone Temple was an examination of Thatcherism, and I had to go back and think about a lot of things.
I mean, yeah. Like, I could have told you that.
Could you have?
Yeah. But I mean, I might have had to think for a while, but yeah, I would have come to...
Oh, well, I could have hypothetically came to the conclusion.
No, the reason I say that is just because, like, basically all art I like agrees with me politically because I like good art, and good art is made by people who agree with me politically most of the time.
It's so funny because you like at the end there's such a big asterisk carrying so much, and you know it, bro. Especially when you get to books, there's such a big fucking asterisk carrying a weight.
Yeah, I mean, and of course there's exceptions, but by and large, conservatives, as in like really like true believer conservatives, fucking suck at art.
Where are we putting Trey?
Who? Oh, Trey Parker?
Yeah.
Well, he's not really a conservative. He would deny this, but if he was honest with himself, he'd recognize it, that he is a left-leaning libertarian.
I'd say with some social conservative tendencies, yeah.
I wouldn't even say social conservative. I'd say social libertarian. Because they did the pro-gay episode in like 1997, so they're clearly not that socially conservative.
Actually, that's a very fair point.
Well, he and I love that we always talk about him as if Matt Stone doesn't exist and doesn't also contribute.
Listen, we know Matt Stone exists, but we also know this is listen, Simon and Garfunkel. I know our Garfunkel does a lot of work, but like, come on.
Anyway, my point is that Trey and Matt are like kind of edgy libertarians who don't really care about anything, and that's their whole thing. Which means that, like, a lot of the time they'll wind up on the correct side of an issue, but sometimes they won't. And unlike most people, they do admit to their own evolution. Like, they did the whole "we're sorry about Man Bear Pig" thing.
So you're sorry to have for it. Well, no, there was a lot of evidence. A lot of people were saying no, I'm done.
I guarantee that in the likely event South Park is still on, like 8 to 10 years from now, they'll probably look back at the Strong Woman Macho Man episode and go, oof.
I think that was one of the most misinterpreted episodes ever.
It was, yeah, but
I don't think. Okay, bro. I think the problem with that episode is the audience.
oh, I
Because
know. I'm just saying.
dog, no, it's just it's irony has to be dead to a point when I've heard a bunch of people calling for canceling over the specific episode that has the most PC character running around going, "No, everyone stop. Wait, can I ask something without everyone yelling at me for 1 second? Can we just no, can we just have a dialogue about this one
They also did possibly the most factually accurate depiction of Tourette's I've ever seen on like mainstream TV.
Me and my cousin touched wieners.
I'm choosing to believe that that's not from the episode and that you just chose to reveal that.
That is from the episode. Me and my cousin touched wieners. Wieners.
You know what?
I meant to say it's cold in the winter. Winter is cold. Yeah.
Fuck it. I'll tell a story, not about that, but about something else involving cousins and wieners.
Oh.
No, it's innocent. Don't worry.
Someone get the banjo.
One time when how old was I? I must have been like 9, and so my cousins would have been maybe 6 and 4, maybe a little older for each of us. Anyway, there was one time that all 3 of us had to take a whiz, and there was only one fucking toilet available, so the 3 of us just stood around pissing into the same toilet.
I'm gonna say something so funny to you.
We were kids, man. What do you want?
How the fuck did you guys choose the homoerotic situation instead of the great outdoors? All my life has been like, if you gotta, you just go find a tree, dude.
I don't remember what it was, but there was some reason we couldn't do that.
You go outside, you find some wood, and you piss on it. That's the way.
There was some particular reason, because especially those two who love my cousins who love being outdoors, they love pissing outside. So there was some particular reason we couldn't, and I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, the particular reason was you wanted to have a little fucking gander.
No, trust me, that is not it. I was not interested in seeing a 5-year-old's dick. I wasn't interested in seeing anyone's dick, really.
Yo, so like, I'm just saying, I never showed up to the circle piss.
You know what? We were at my grandma's house. And if I'm remembering that house correctly, because it's been a while since I went there, it had a tiny little backyard with like fake grass and no trees. So that we couldn't really even piss there.
Nah, boy, I am kneeling at a corner of the house, pretending like I'm praying. Like,
look, man, I was 10. All right, we
I
had to piss. I came up with a solution quickly.
You know, let's go all whip them out together. I was 10, and my first thought was, no, I can't wait 10 seconds. I'd prefer to see it right now. All right, everyone, let's synchronize streams in 3, 2.
If I remember, well, I keep saying that phrase. To my recollection, I avoided eye contact.
See, the more you talk, the more this is like a court deposition.
Yeah. I'm on trial here.
To my recollection, I did not maintain eye contact.
I mean, we were also like tiny children, you got to remember. The youngest of us was probably like 5.
It's the timing of this that is so insane. What the fuck? You all fucking chugging waters on goddamn synchronized.
Well, it was summer, so yes, we probably were chugging water because it was hot as fuck.
But on synchronized like bladder schedules.
I don't know, man. Maybe we were all at the same fucking event together. Like... I don't remember because I was like 10 years old. This would have been almost 20 years ago now. But there was one bathroom, 3 kids had to take a piss. We got desperate.
Bro, I'd be pissing in the sink before we're pissing in the same time.
I mean, we were all standing. The toilet was big enough to take that much piss.
I really enjoy the fact that you say you're all standing because I was not thinking about the other visual. That's a funny one, though.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, but like also 2 of the 3 of us were too short to piss in the sink.
Yeah, that makes it real easy to know who's pissing in the sink, doesn't it?
Actually, I might have been too short to piss in the sink now that I think about it.
One of you piss in the sink, one of you piss in the bathroom fucking tub, one of you piss in the toilet. What are you
This was the half bath downstairs that had no tub. I do remember that part.
Bro, I'm pissing in a bottle like fucking Jim Croce said, or whatever that song was.
If I could say piss in a bottle,
Yeah,
the first thing that I'd like to do is to
make
save
sure
every
to cap it.
piss.
Is to make sure to cap it and make sure
Yeah,
to last
definitely.
it and put it on a shelf just for you.
Now, granted, I don't work at Amazon, but I feel like if I did, I would rather risk getting fired.
I mean, if I worked at Amazon, I'd be like a dick about it.
No pun
And,
intended.
No, I'd find okay, dude. If I worked at Amazon and like my boss was like, no, you're not allowed to take bathroom breaks. The next day, I'd be like, okay, bet. I completely understand. And I'm not joking with you. I'm about to walk in looking like Senior Pink. Can I have you look up Senior Pink for me?
Yeah. Senior, as in like
Yes.
Spanish? Okay.
Senior Pink.
I didn't know if you meant like senior as in elderly. Oh my god. Okay.
Let's show the folks how we're going in.
There we go. That is a very weird looking guy.
I am just wearing a diaper. And I'm wearing a baby outfit. And I'm going to just be staring at my boss. And I'm going to make it so fucking clear that I'm going to just be taking a piss while I'm maintaining that eye contact. And like you're going to wish you had a men's bathroom.
So I remember once, this isn't a story from my life, it's a story of a TV show I saw, and I don't remember what fucking show. I don't remember most of the context. It was probably Law and Order, or one of the million shows that's just Law and Order. So the villain in that episode was a former teacher, and he got fired because one time one of his like more disruptive students asked to go to the bathroom, and he said no. So the student got up and decided to piss in the trash can in front of everybody. And the teacher went, oh, God, like he freaked out and tried to stop him. And the teenager accused him of molesting him. And he like got fired and his whole life blew up over it. So he snapped and he's going to kill a bunch of people. But it was very funny to like, so the whole thing got kicked off because of a false rape allegation. That doesn't have political implications at all, Law and Order, does it? Also, why would the teacher just not stand there and then send him to the principal's office?
I mean, because this Law and Order episode, like most episodes of network TV, was written by a bunch of fucking 60-year-old white men with no concept of the world.
Well, yeah, but even as a 60-year-old white man, if a dude whipped it out and started pissing in front of me, I'd rather just wait for him to be finished rather than accidentally touch him.
No, because you're a 60-year-old white man. And how dare this little niglet piss in your presence?
To be fair, we did not see a flashback to this, so it is unclear the ethnicity of the teenager in question.
So if you want, substitute that with a slur for your own race.
Yeah, I did not. I mean, the teacher, I don't remember most of the episode, but I remember the teacher was like stereotypical clean-cut white guy teacher, so they weren't like doing the whole, oh, he's teaching in the inner city type of thing.
How do I reach these kids?
Yeah, exactly. They know no other way than to touch it. Yeah, well, that's the thing. You just wait for him to stop. Like, okay, maybe other guys are different, but for me, once the spigot is going, it ain't stopping until the fucking pipe is empty, all right?
Nah, bro, the teacher just tried to grab it by the fucking shaft, put his thumb over the hole, and
like a fucking soda can that you're shaking up.
Nah, dude, more like a water hose that you're trying to aim at someone.
Yeah, I personally would have simply waited for him to finish pissing, but I don't know. I guess I'm just built different.
Built different.
Anyway, speaking of, well, not speaking of anything, but I was thinking of this when we were talking about prisons earlier.
Speaking of molestation.
And I said that, no, speaking of prisons, and I said this to you earlier, and this is on my mind because we have Star Trek shit to talk about.
Dun-dun.
It kind of bugs me that later Star Trek confirmed that the Federation still, at least to some limited extent, uses prisons, because TOS implied that they don't anymore.
Oh my god, because TOS is fucking lying one half the time. Two, TOS is idealistic as shit.
No,
It's
I know. It's just like I
listen,
would just hope that a society as evolved as the Federation, at least surface wise, is, would come up with a better solution than locking motherfuckers up.
that makes no sense. What do you mean?
And that is true that Zoomers understand consent much better than Boomers. That is true.
But like, dude, like, okay, so we get rid of capital punishment, obviously.
Except for if you go to Talos 4, according to that one episode.
Well, shit happens sometimes. But how the fuck are you expecting to punish people?
Well, that's the thing. Like, so, like with Harry Mudd, who is, let's be real, is like a scumfuck.
Yeah.
His comment implies that every time he gets arrested, they put him through like a kind of like mental rehab program to try to like get to the root of his criminal tendencies.
Yeah, but that's like, there's different kinds of crime.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is, like, I'm just thinking of the stuff I know of that characters went to prison for, and granted, like, most of it is stuff I'm not supposed to know yet, but I know because of the wiki. Like, I know that fucking Cisco's second wife spent a year in prison for arming the Maquis. First of all, that should just not be illegal because the Maquis are correct.
Mm-hmm.
I know that Michael from Discovery was sentenced to life in prison for mutinying, and I'm like, is that really a life in prison worthy offense?
It was the first Starfleet mutiny, and they wanted to set an example.
I guess. I don't know. Like, I'm not criticizing the writer so much. I'm just disappointed that the future is not as idealistic as they implied.
I feel like that's part of Star Trek.
Like, I'm not mad that prisons exist because there's good storytelling there. I'm just a little disappointed that the Federation is still fucking part of that.
I guess let me put it this way. I feel like watching Star Trek is like a story about, like, TOS is like when you're a kid.
Yeah, and then like TNG and Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, like well, I mean, because like TOS is literally there's heroes and there's villains, and even the villains, you know, they can be good guys, and like we can change them, and like da 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 da. And the
yeah, granted, some of that was like network censorship too.
Well, absolutely, but like okay, but then you look at Next Gen, and it's like, well, no, there's a little bit of gray here. We have to start thinking about things like grown-ups, guys. Let's start putting on our reading comprehension caps.
Yeah, because they stupidly assumed that the audience had grown the fuck up in the 20-year interim. Yeah.
Well, I mean, but that trend continues. I mean, I think it's best when viewed at with that lens of like, yeah, it's you want to idealistically think that the Federation's perfect in doing all that shit, but like,
oh, I know it's not perfect. It's just that like in TNG even, we see Federation problems all the time, but they're normally problems with like the way it's being run, not so much like at the root.
You think so? I think
as depicted in TNG.
I think the Prime Directive is depicted in TNG.
Well, that's what so the Prime, that's a different thing because that's like a disagreement over law interpretation. That's not just straight up they are doing things that are illegal type of thing.
I just
like I'll put it this way. For whatever faults it has, the Federation is depicted pretty consistently as being like rational actors.
Yeah, and rational actors need prisons.
I mean, I guess it's just. I'm not even talking so much about the prison thing necessarily. I just mean, like, you know, we'll see admirals do really fucked up shit in TNG.
Yeah.
But then when that comes to the attention of the Federation, even if it was something that they would politically agree with, there will come a point that the Federation higher-ups will say, like, hey, man, we didn't sign off on genocide.
You could also argue that it is a plausible deniability built into the bureaucracy of the Federation.
Well, that's bureaucracy in general.
Well, yeah, but the Romulans have like been like, no, dude, we see you waging war on us with one hand, and then your other hand is like, oh, we're so sorry. What do you mean? Like
yeah, actually, so I guess I'll just get straight into it. So I've watched Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country, which I hadn't seen since I was a kid.
Okay.
Good movie. Very good movie. Not as good as Wrath of Khan, but very good.
I ain't seen it in a while.
Well, it's
is
the same.
The whale one?
No, that's 4.
Okay.
6 is the last one. It's the one where they make peace with the Klingons and shit.
Got it.
But there's one line in there that was odd to me, and maybe this is just because Nicholas Meyer is not really a Star Trek guy, so when he directs Star Trek, he's more interested in making movies than he is making Star Trek.
What line?
So when they talk about, like, they have the meeting with the brass and everything to discuss making a peace overture to the Klingons.
Yep.
And one of them kind of implies, like, wait, if we're not in conflict with the Klingons, do we still need Starfleet? And it's like, well, Starfleet isn't really a military.
I think
like it's partially military, but
it's one of those great times where it's like, do you think because you have that view that every person in there has the same view?
No, I know. That's just weird to me that anyone would suggest that, because Starfleet officers, their duties almost never really consist of warfare.
I don't know about all that. I think we just don't really watch that part of the job.
Well, of course not. I'm sure there's shit we don't see. But like whenever the Enterprise runs into another Starfleet ship, they're always doing like science and exploratory stuff. Like
this is why I need to see like this. You just gotta see some things, because there's some people. Okay, there's some points you just gotta have war. Bork, we're warring.
Well, yeah, that's
comes. We're warring. Like,
yeah, it was just a weird little line that I was surprised made it into the movie. That like even the more warlike members of the Admiralty would acknowledge the fact that most of what they do isn't war.
I feel like some of them, that's what they do.
By the way, something that is really fucking cool that was in that scene is that he only has a really small role in the movie, but the admiral who gives the big speech about how the Klingons are dangerous and we can't trust them and we need to not make peace with them, you know who played him?
Who?
Brock Peters.
Huh.
For those of you who don't know who that is, among other famous roles, he was Tom Robinson in the movie version of To Kill a Mockingbird. And they cast him on purpose because they were like, what's the best way to show this bigoted worldview and how that looks different in the future? Have not only a black guy say it, but have it be a black guy famous for a racial injustice movie say it.
Let's have the black guy who got killed off screen say it.
Yeah, well, to be fair, that happens in the book too. But, and in fact, apparently Brock Peters, the reason it cuts away from his speech multiple times is because he was so disturbed by the speech he was giving that he couldn't do the whole thing in one take.
That speech could just be summed up by the great words of Kendrick Lamar. They not like us.
Well, yeah, that is based. Similarly, Nichelle Nichols actually refused to say a couple of lines that were scripted for her because she thought they had racist implications.
Because they do, and the writers are not great with the fire that they're playing with.
Oh yeah, it's intentional that they sound a little racist. She thought it was like wrong to have her character say them.
No, like I know, like I get their intention is there. I'm just saying often these guys are like either over or underpowering their thrusters. It always feels like the calculations for their aim ain't really perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I remember the two lines. One made it into the movie, but they just gave it to Chekhov instead. And then the other they cut from the movie entirely. The one that they gave to Chekhov was after they make the peace deal and invite the Klingons over. Chekhov kind of goes, guess who's coming to dinner?
Yeah, because that's racist.
Well, yeah. But that line was originally supposed to be from Uhura, and Nichelle Nichols was like, no, I'm not fucking saying that.
Because it's a bad line.
Yeah, the other one was the Uhura was supposed to say about Klingons, "Would you want one dating your daughter?" And she took one look at that line and said, "Absolutely fucking not."
You know, because we're not okay. As someone who's does a lot of fantasy shit.
Nichelle Nichols, by the way, consistently understood Uhura better than the writers did, like throughout all of Star Trek, and those are just two examples of that.
Well, I just want to throw out here. I think this is like them trying to do an effect and them not understanding how to do it because there's 60-year-old white men in a room. And like this is the type of shit in Star Trek that occasionally gets me.
And
Where
it's
like,
also Nicholas Meyer, who doesn't normally write Star Trek.
I don't know, a bunch of these dudes don't normally write Star Trek and fuck up. I mean, it's just I guess I get what you're saying. I'm just saying there's a bunch of instances of it where like.
Oh, I only said that because my comment was Nicholas Meyer was more interested in just making a movie than he was like strictly adhering to the rules of how Star Trek works.
I just know that the writers were trying to go for we're building a xenophobia against this other culture. But I want to be clear, when you are so fucking bad at writing that you can't create animosity without without referencing the real life racism that you experience in your world, you're not creating shit. You are just like you are pretty much exposing and like relying on reactions to something. For
Oh,
like,
the other. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna say like like guess who's coming to dinner. That's a racist phrase that already exists. The humans use on humans. Can we use something that's not already human on human, bro? Like, okay, I fucking hate to give this show any props because the fandom's insane, but the show's great. But my glip glops. Do you understand why that's great? Tell me what the fuck that means. You don't, because you can't have a fucking conception of it because you are a fucking human. If you don't get that, stop trying to write intercultural shit. I just get so mad.
The other thing that was weird about that, and this isn't really an error because they do still call it a Cold War in the movie, but the way the characters talk, and like if you'd never seen any other Star Trek and you only watched 6, you would get the impression that the Federation and the Klingons have been at like active war, when in reality they were kind of in more like a Cold War situation.
Whoa, that's the semantics.
Well, it matters a lot because standing on opposite sides of a line and mean mugging each other is very different than actively engaging gunfire on a regular basis.
Well, they engage in small skirmishes on a regular basis, just not in large scale battles.
Honestly, even their skirmishes, like Klingons show up quite a bit, but in terms of when the situation actually devolves into a ship-to-ship fight, even that happens pretty rarely in Star Trek.
Yeah, that's mostly because the Federation just pulls the fuck out and doesn't get anything the Klingons want.
Yeah, and also because Kirk, despite what everyone thinks, Kirk is not as much of a cowboy as people think. And while he's a little more willing to fight than some captains, he still does everything he can to not let it turn into a fight.
He's a cowboy in that he just does whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, and also there's the thing I've mentioned before, which is anyone looks like a cowboy when they're standing next to Spock.
Yeah, there is that.
Also, there's a great line in that movie when so they all show up to the meeting, but Spock is suspiciously absent, and Kirk is like, "Oh, I wonder why." And then the reason why is because Spock is the one giving the presentation.
Oh,
And which that's not that big a deal, but basically Spock gives the whole presentation and he says how he wants Kirk to be the first envoy with the Klingons because that sends a really strong message.
Sure.
And he uses a historical allusion because Kirk says, "Why do you want me?" And Spock's response is, "According to the ancient Vulcan proverb, only Nixon could go to China."
It's very dumb.
Well, it was, but that's definitely the kind of joke that post-character development Spock would have made to Kirk.
There's better jokes.
By the way, despite the nitpicks I've listed, for those of you who might not know, Star Trek 6 is still a really solid movie. There's a lot of really great shit in it.
What's it getting for a Larry score?
I gave it 4 out of 5. I gave it the same score I gave to Voyage Home. You could maybe talk me into bumping it to 4.5, but I didn't like it quite as much as Star Trek's 1 or 3, which also got 4.5s from me. So
It would be a tough sell.
also, for plot convenience reasons, that's the movie where Klingons suddenly have purple blood, even though they've never had purple blood before or since.
It makes me think of Power Rangers.
Well, the reason why, I'm sure a little part of it was because when the blood is purple, the scene is less graphic. But there's actually, this is funny. I didn't realize there were two versions of the movie, but there are, because Paramount Plus has the theatrical cut, and the version I'd seen years ago on DVD was the extended cut, because there's a scene missing that I remembered. At the end of the movie,
Mandela yourself a scene.
no, I looked it up to make sure that it was real, and it was.
Nice.
So at the end of the movie, like the guy tries to kill the assassin tries to kill the Klingon guy, and then the Enterprise crew shows up and they save the day. And Scotty shoots the assassin, and he falls through a window, and he falls like 20 feet, and he lands, and he's dead. In the theatrical cut of the movie, that's the end of it. But there's an extended cut scene that makes the purple blood important, because one of the Klingons looks at the now dead assassin, and there's red blood coming out of his head. And the Klingon says, that's not Klingon blood. And they realize that he's not even a Klingon. He's a human who surgically altered himself to look Klingon to frame them for what they're doing.
We've been betrayed.
Also, the guy who played that role, whose role pretty much got cut, was Rene Abu, whatever his name is, the guy who plays Odo on DS9.
Odo, we love you so much.
Though it was before that and him not in makeup, so it's not as obvious that it's the same actor, but...
It's like Abu Gerons
or something. Aubergerons, some French name. The point is that it's the same actor who 2 years later would become very famous.
Is it a French name or is it a Muslim name from France?
It could be either one, but isn't he white? I think he's white, isn't he?
I mean, you do realize you can still have a Muslim name from France and be white.
Yeah, his full name is Rene Marie Murat Auberjonois. So yeah, he is
Okay. Ain't no Abdu in there. Yeah, that dude's just French.
God damn, he actually comes from a really long line of like mildly significant figures.
Really?
Yeah, his father was Fernand Auberjonois, was a Cold War era foreign correspondent and Pulitzer Prize nominated writer.
Oh.
His mother was a great granddaughter of Joaquin Murat, who was one of Napoleon's marshals. His grandfather, whom he was named after, was a painter, a Swiss painter. Yeah, so he comes from a long line of like mildly significant people. Oh, he was in the movie version of MASH. I forgot about that. Yeah, where unlike the show, they have lyrics.
I don't like to think about those lyrics.
You know what's funny is that Robert Altman, just because, I guess just for why not, when he needed that song, his son, who was about 14 at the time, was an aspiring musician. So he said to his son, like, hey, you want to write the theme song for this movie? And his son was like, hell yeah. And so he does, and he writes Suicide is Painless. And Robert Altman noted in an interview like 3 decades later, thanks to the TV show, my son earned more in residuals than I ever did.
Good.
Because they had to pay his son for every fucking episode.
Yeah, because that's awesome.
Not that Robert Altman was poor by any means. He made like 1 million really famous movies,
but still, that's just really funny. Like,
yeah,
the kid made all the cash.
I mean, Robert Altman was paid well for directing it too, but his residuals did not equal my song gets used every episode of the show that runs for 12 years.
Yeah, fair. That's a lot of money.
I mean, good for him. He got his start in the music industry early in life.
Wait, how old was he?
He would have been like 14 when he wrote that song. So then like 15 by the time the movie came out.
Huh. That's wild then.
Yeah, here it is. At 15, Michael Altman wrote the lyrics to the song. I guess his other son is a production designer.
Whole family full of chasing the bag.
Well, more like just the three of them, but
I mean, how many do you need?
well, my point is that he doesn't come from a dynasty the way that like Jack Quaid or whoever does.
I mean, he doesn't come from a duck dynasty, but
And then on the other side of that, there's Willem Dafoe's son, who's just like a real estate dude. He just has like a normal ass life. The hell is that?
What do you think it is?
It's a mask of some kind.
Well, there we go.
Nice. Oh, by the way, you know who in Star Trek 6, you know who shows up kind of?
My dad?
No, but you're onto something. Worf's grandfather.
Nice.
Yeah, Michael Dorn has because Kirk and McCoy get put on trial in the Klingon courts. And Michael Dorn, wearing slightly different makeup, so it's obvious he's a different character, makes a small appearance as Colonel Worf, their court-appointed lawyer.
I remember this. I just forgot that was who that was.
Yeah, they don't say this in the movie, obviously, but producers confirmed that he is indeed supposed to be Worf's grandfather, and presumably namesake.
Question. Where do Klingons buy their shoes?
Presumably from the Army Navy surplus store.
At Kahless Shoe Store.
Haha. That's one of many Klingon words whose pronunciation varies depending on which they need in this episode.
I like to chalk it up to different cultural pronunciation over time.
True. Plus, in the case I'm thinking of, the person saying the name was a small child.
Kahless.
Well, no, he said Collis. Like he was like 10, but he said Collis, not like.
Yeah, that kid just didn't know how to read a script. That's exactly what happened there.
But Worf also doesn't correct him either, so.
Yeah, because
the kid who says it isn't from Klingon culture, so his knowledge of them is limited. But then Worf also pronounces it that way. Maybe he just didn't want to make his son feel bad, I guess.
Was it Alexander's bitch ass?
Yeah, fuck you. I like Alexander.
If I had a nickel for every time Alexander did something wrong, man.
He's like 4.
All right, bro, be better.
Now, I get that he ages over the fucking series, of course, but at the point I'm at, if you do the math, he's not even 4.
Bring some honor to your family, bro. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, because Klingon, basically for plot convenience reasons, Klingon kids age differently than human kids do. So if you do the math, Alexander's only like fucking 3. Like in human years, that is.
Yeah.
But he is 1/4 human, so that's a little bit relevant.
But just a little bit.
Yeah. But like he fucks things up by just being a traumatized child who's now in the care of someone he barely knows and doesn't know how to handle it. Like,
no, I know. I just like the joke of like, God damn it, Alexander, stop fucking up. Like,
there's a similar situation in Arrow between Oliver and his son. And there's actually a line where, because of his association with Oliver, he gets moved around a few times. And there's a line where Oliver's trying to relate to him, and he says, like, you know, you're so grown up, you've been through so much, it's easy for me to get that you're still to forget that you're still just a kid. And he kind of pauses and he goes, you're a kid who's lived in 4 cities in the last 2 years. Because he keeps having to move because his connection to Oliver keeps getting discovered by villains.
I mean, maybe he should be less discoverable.
Well, okay, so not that I want to go off on too much of an Arrow stun lock. So Oliver didn't know he had a son.
Okay.
When he was like, before he was on the island, when he was like 20, 21 years old, he fucking got drunk and he banged some girl, like some acquaintance of his who wasn't even from Star City.
We've all been there.
Yeah, and she got pregnant, and he's like, "Oh fuck, what do I do?" So, and especially because he cheated on his girlfriend to make this happen too, so he feels bad about that.
So what does he do?
He doesn't really know what to do, so he tells his mother, like, "Hey, I'm in a lot of trouble. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do here." And his mom is kind of like, "Well, whatever you two decide, I'll support you with it." Like she does the supportive mom thing,
That's
and then
sweet.
he calls Samantha, who's the woman, and invites her to the house. And she explains to Samantha, "Look, I want my grandchild to have a good life,
Okay.
but I also want my son to have a good life, and this is going to get in the way of that. So here's the deal. I want you to call Oliver and tell him you had a miscarriage and then go home to Central City. In exchange, I'll give you $2 million." And like writes her the check for the $2 million right there, hands it to her. And Samantha calls Oliver and says, "I had a miscarriage. I'm going home." And so he's relieved, but part of him is clearly a little sad. But like he gets over it because he's fucking 20 and he's drinking all the time and he's got other shit to worry about.
He's got hoes.
He's what?
I said he's got hoes.
Well, he's not supposed to. He's supposed to be in a relationship, which is part of why he feels bad because he cheated on the woman he actually loves.
Because he's got hoes.
So then, like a decade later in the timeline, less for us, but Oliver, when he's in Central City in one of the crossover episodes, teaming up with the Flash, he runs into Samantha again at the one coffee shop that everyone in the city goes to.
Because that's how that works.
And well, I mean, to be fair, that coffee shop presumably has locations all over the city, but you know.
Sure.
And so he runs into her and he's like, "Oh, hey, haven't seen you in a while." And it's like super fucking awkward between them. And then she goes off. And we, the audience, know that she has his child. He doesn't know that yet.
She has $2 million.
Well, hang on. No, she doesn't. There's a reason for that. So the following year's crossover, it happens again. He runs into her again. But this time she has the kid with her. The kid who's like 9 by this point. So he's the exact right age to be Oliver's son. And Oliver just sees him and immediately is like, "Oh, fuck."
Yeah, it's about chilling.
So he makes an excuse to talk to her, and she immediately clocks what he's doing, and she's like, "Look, he's not your kid, don't worry." Like, and he's like, "Oh, I wasn't worried. Thanks, Samantha." And then when the kid drops his hat, he hands him back the hat, and when they're not looking, steals a hair out of the hat, and has Barry run the DNA, and it's his kid. So he shows up at her fucking house, and he's like, "Look, I'm not here to cause problems, but I know he's my fucking son. Talk to me, please." And Samantha reveals that not only the whole story I just told you, but she also reveals that she never cashed the check.
But she still has $2 million. She's just dumb.
No, she doesn't have $2 million. She never cashed the check.
She has a $2 million check.
That's now a decade out of date, written by someone who's dead now.
Oh no.
Like she has it in a fucking drawer. She like hands it to him, like, "Here, I don't want it." Because she was horrified that his mother did that, and she didn't want any association with their family in any capacity.
I mean, sounds like a waste of $2 million.
Oh, I agree, but she was fucking horrified that her child's grandmother would do that. So anyway, Oliver, he's fucking shocked and a little bit horrified that he has a son he didn't know about, whom he couldn't be there for. At the end of the episode, he and Samantha make a deal that if he agrees to keep his son's secret from everyone, including his friends, that he can visit him sometimes when he's in town.
Ooh. Secret.
And so, yeah, which is fucking, and that causes Oliver's fucking breakup with Felicity, which is ridiculous, because if I were Oliver, I would have just agreed and then immediately told my fiance behind her back.
Yeah, because, like, I'm going to do what I want.
Well, and also, she winds up finding out, like, 10 episodes later anyway, because the villain of the season also finds out and kidnaps Oliver's son.
Well, that's not very good.
Anyway, so Oliver saves the day, in the process revealing to Samantha that he's Green Arrow. He saves the day. He gets the mom and son back together, I think gives them some money and sends them away. He tells her, "Go somewhere, change your names, change everything. Don't tell me where you're going." And he records a little message that he gives her for William, the son, on his 18th birthday, so that like when he's an adult, he can learn like why his life got fucked up, basically. But what?
When I told him was a child.
Well, he tells him some of it, but he also, like, he's 9. He doesn't need to know that his father's a fucking masked vigilante. He doesn't need to know that stuff yet. But
David could do it.
So it doesn't last. Next season's bad guy kidnaps them again, and this time he finds out, and they save. Well, they don't save everyone because Samantha fucking dies. And so now, like from season 6 onward, Oliver now has to take custody of a child he barely knows.
Well, that works out easily, I'm sure.
Well, ultimately, he winds up eventually moving in with Samantha's parents, but that's not because his relationship with Oliver's fucked up. It's more just so that he can have a more normal life.
Yeah.
But now he's old enough that he and his dad can be in contact even when they don't live with each other anymore. So, like, he still visits for the holidays and shit.
Well, that's nice.
And then as adults, of course, they're able to. Well, I mean, Oliver dies, but like in the revised timeline, he eventually gets to move in with Felicity and actually like get to be an older brother to her and to his and Felicity's kid. And
that's a lot of Green Arrow knowledge.
Well, I watched the whole show. I mean, anyway, my point is that between the moving and the name changes and getting sent to boarding school and getting sent to live with his grandparents and everything, yeah, over the course of 3 years, his 11-year-old son moves like 5 fucking times. And that's ultimately why he lets him live with his grandparents, because he's like, you're right, you deserve a more stable life than the one I can give you at this moment.
Fuck all that. I want the superhero life.
Well, and that's kind of how, because by this point, William knows that his father is the Green Arrow, so now he knows why everything's fucked up. And he knows that his dad's doing good and saving the city and everything, but he's also like, yeah, but I just got fucking held hostage in my own house by a crazy guy. And I'm 11 years old.
So get a fucking superpower, kid.
I don't think he ever does.
Well, see, that's on him. That's him not stepping his game up.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Oliver doesn't have superpowers either, but
he's rich. That's a superpower in our world.
He's not even always rich. He loses his money at one point in the show.
Yeah, but like...
Now, granted, he still somehow can finance the Green Arrow mission, so maybe he still has, like, some money in a different account, but, like, his family's money is fucking gone at the end of season 2. They have to sell their estate and everything.
He's just not as rich anymore.
Well, that's the thing. They talk like he's not rich at all, but he clearly must have some money because he's still buying all the shit that Green Arrow uses.
And that shit's expensive.
Yeah, like, it would have been nice if they had a thing where, like, at the beginning of season 3, he's like, hang on, I gotta go back and scavenge all my arrows. I can't afford to keep replacing them anymore. In season 3, he's literally living in the arrow bunker, sleeping on, like, an army cot and shit.
Is that just because he's obsessed, though?
No, it's because he has no fucking home anymore because the estate got sold, and he's like, well, whatever. Like, could he probably afford to rent a cheap apartment? Probably, but he also, like, between having way less money and not really giving a shit about creature comforts, he's just like, I'll just put a cot in the bunker.
Yeah, it's just stressy, depressy white man action.
The funny thing is that he's actually, like, at one of the happiest points we see him in the show, at the point that he's living on an army cot in the bunker.
Sometimes that's when things are simple.
Yeah. Though he eventually becomes mayor, and from that, presumably, is being paid well. And then eventually the Team Arrow gets incorporated into the city's police department, so the money isn't an issue anymore because now the taxpayers are footing the bill.
That is so fucked up.
Actually, they don't say that explicitly. I'm just assuming that they are, but maybe not.
That's expensive shit. I don't want to pay for super cops.
Well, thankfully, Team Arrow's stuff while it would be very expensive compared to normal police gear, isn't that crazy high tech.
I don't care. I don't want to pay for super cops.
Well, keep in mind, you'd probably feel differently if your city got attacked by a terrorist, by a superpowered terrorist every single year.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, because like Batman maybe beat up my best friend. I don't know.
I mean, Batman. Okay, no, I don't want to go off on the Stunlock too much, but Batman doesn't really tend to beat up people unless they're like actually bad guys.
Nah, dude, my friend was selling some dank, and Batman beat the shit out of him.
Everyone makes that joke, but in reality, Batman has a proven track record of not going after nonviolent criminals.
Where's that track record?
Every comic book where he ever gets information from a petty criminal and or prostitute.
Yeah, but well, what about the track record of me beating the shit out of them in the Arkham games, huh? What about that?
Yeah, but those guys are killers. They're not just drug dealers. They're like guys with guns who actively kill people.
I suppose. I'm just saying.
Like, you got to remember, the criminals Batman beats up tend to be like career criminals being paid directly by supervillains to be in their gangs.
That sounds like some Batman apologist.
And even then, most of the time, other than the Arkham games where it's up to the player how they behave, Batman doesn't tend to like permanently injure most people he fights.
Yeah, I know. That's why he has the track record of letting people get fucked up.
Yeah, like he kind of like Batman is often depicted as a minimum force required type of dude. And also, as Alex is pointing out in the chat, the super cops thing with Green Arrow helps that one, none of them have superpowers, and two, there's only like 6 of them.
Yeah, but they're I mean, they got powers.
No, they don't.
No, but like, dude, at a certain point, it's comparable.
Not with these guys. There's a reason that, with one exception, all of Arrow's season arcs were all dudes with little to no powers.
Well, I mean, you mean no literal superpowers, right?
Well, like Deathstroke technically has enhanced abilities, but yeah.
Yeah, but like what I'm saying is like it's still beyond normal people.
Well, a lot of them weren't actually. Like the villain in season 1 is just a normal guy with a lot of training.
Huh.
In fact, other than season 4 where they had Damien Dark, who's a wizard, pretty much all the other villains either had no powers or like low level powers. And the heroes themselves, most of the time, don't have powers at all.
Isn't Damien Dark a bitch?
I need a definition of bitch.
I mean, like, isn't he like a coward who like just tries to stay out of most of the stuff?
Maybe in the comics, not really as depicted in the show.
Okay.
Like in the show, he's very suave and he won't get his hands dirty if he has to. But like, if they show up at his house with guns, he's just gonna fucking beat the shit out of them all.
Okay.
Well, actually, he has magic, so normally he does that. And there's one time where they disable his magic, and he's just like, "You remember that even without magic, I'm still trained by the League of Assassins, right?" And then just starts kicking their ass hand to hand.
That's fun. Oh, you thought we weren't throwing hands?
Yeah, I mean, he's rich and he has guys who work for him, so a lot of the time he doesn't have to get his hands dirty, but like he can, and he's perfectly willing to if the situation requires it. Holy fuck, that was sour.
What was?
These things.
Are you taking drugs?
No, I'm taking perfectly legal gummies that definitely don't have any psychoactive chemicals in them.
You can't show the label to the camera and say that, you goofus.
It is perfectly legal in my state to consume the gummies that I just consumed, of a type I will not specify. I am over 21 and of consenting mindset and all that.
Whatever these kids are saying to themselves.
Anyway, like if I'm thinking of Green Arrow's team, like people who were there for an extended period, that is, the only one who had powers was the second version of Black Canary, and she eventually lost her powers.
How do you have a Black Canary without powers?
Well, because the original two versions were just badass martial arts ladies, which, to be fair, half the time Black Canary is depicted like that.
But like, why call yourself Black Canary? It's just a weird name.
Well, the original didn't call herself that.
Since she's not Black Canary.
Well, so like the merchandise and shit called her the Canary, but I don't think they called her that as like a formal code name. That was just the translation of her League of Assassins like Arabic name.
Oh.
Like, because when you join the League of Assassins, you're assigned a new name, and I forget what hers was, but the translation of it was the Canary.
Waterabic. Earthabic.
Yeah.
Arabic. Fireabic.
And then, so she died, but came back later through bullshit. But when she died, her sister took over and took on the name Black Canary. And she had like a tech thing that did the sonic scream.
From her hand?
Well, not like it was just a throwable device. Okay, so the initial version was a throwable device. Then she came up with one that mounted on a necklace.
Speaking of Arabic, brother, oh,
I know. But then the later Black Canary who takes over the role, she has the actual Sonic Cry superpowers, but then she loses them when she gets a throat injury.
Ooh, Larry, do you know what that's worth?
Ooh, heaven is a place on earth. Anyway, so other than her, everyone else who was on the team either didn't have powers for long, or wasn't on the team very long.
What are my funds going towards?
What, like as a taxpayer?
Yes, in this hypothetical situation, if I'm a taxpayer, what are my funds going towards for this team?
Presumably just buying body armor and computers and shit. Though, to be clear, they never say whether the taxpayers are funding it. I'm just assuming they must be.
Assuming they are, but like, do they not have weapons?
Well, they have, I mean, a lot of them have like specialized weapons, but even the ones of them who use guns, they use some kind of unspecified, like, non-lethal ammunition most of the time.
Yeah, they probably got like Flash villain ass weapons.
No, they don't. Because most of the heroes, or most of the villains they fight, don't have powers, so they don't really need them either. They're mostly operating at like the Batman Begins level tech, where it's a little bit more advanced than real life, but not too much.
Okay.
Now, in Central City, that's a different story. Over on the Flash TV show, there the taxpayers are paying for ray guns and shit.
Okay, that is where I can just hop on my soapbox and start complaining about things.
Yeah, but to be fair, when you have a city filled with superpowered villains, you probably want the cops to have non-lethal ray guns and shit.
I no. In a do you want to know what I want?
What?
I want us to assess really if we should have any cops anymore.
True.
Because I'll be real. Am I going to trust the guy who is definitely not trigger happy, who is totally not itching to use the only piece of defense he has against the walking nuclear missile? Yeah, oh no, like I'm just going to expect him to be on his best fucking behavior you can't trust modern cops to not shoot black kids with Skittles. And your fucking ass is trying to give ray guns to these schmucks and expect not X-Men times 10.
Well, two things. One, they don't just carry them like as a given. They only break them out when the villain shows up. And two, Flash takes place in a fantasy world where the police department can be trusted. Like in the crossover episodes, they even acknowledge that fact. Like Oliver will say things like, "You don't get what I'm dealing with, Barry, because you live in Central City, where the sun is always shining and the bad guys get cute code names."
Bad guys should get cute code names.
Well, eventually Oliver's team does start giving them code names, but
because everyone should get cute code names.
Yeah, Oliver doesn't give them names, but like other members of the team will, and Oliver will sometimes go along with it.
Oliver Love.
True. But yeah, like the Flash takes place in like a fantasy world where the police department are actually like what they should be, rather than what they actually are.
Boo. Boo.
Arrow. I mean, not to say that Arrow is like a hard-hitting piece of investigative journalism on police, but Arrow does not take place in such a reality. Like, the cops there are just normal dudes who are unprepared.
Just dudes. Dudes being dudes.
I'm trying to think if there was any explicit like police corruption stuff in there. Maybe there was, but I'm just forgetting.
I'm not even thinking police corruption as much as okay, you like know how the cops don't like being upstaged by Batman?
Yeah.
Imagine that, but it's people with superpowers and we gave them ray guns. Like,
yeah,
I'm not doing that.
The Supergirl TV show did make some acknowledgement of the shitty way police behave. Not like every episode, but there were times that they acknowledged it.
I need new super people content, man.
There's actually so their version of Jimmy Olsen was black.
Yeah,
and I think it was the first time they did that.
I know it was because everyone fucking went nuts and did. They're doing it again. They're taking our redheads. And fun fact, there are redheads, so we'll do with them what the fuck we want.
So there's one episode, and granted, this is just a story his character tells. We don't see it, but he we don't see a flashback of it. But there's one episode where he tells the story of the first time he was put in handcuffs by a cop, and he was 7.
Yeah.
And I feel like the story might have been based on a real thing because that actor was putting a lot of fucking emotion into that scene.
I mean, that's just how it be.
I think one of his comments was they had to put the cuffs around his forearms because his wrists were too small because he was 7.
Because he was 7.
Yeah, and now, granted, it ended fine because the parents showed up and were just like, what the fuck is going on here? And the cops said, are you staying in this hotel? And they said, yes. And they said, oh, okay. And then uncuffed him.
That's not everything being okay, though.
My point is he didn't get shot. And the whole scene is about how everything isn't okay just because he didn't get shot.
It's that time of the show, folks, where every time I have to go and summon the spirit of the great one and only James Cameron because this bar is too fucking low.
Well, if you want a really good example of this, even though the show itself wasn't that great for the most part, the Batwoman show actually spends a lot of fucking time on how evil the cops are.
I kind of want to get a tattoo of James Cameron in a submarine.
And you could. The Batwoman show even had a fucking ACAB graffiti thing.
I mean, like, did they talk about it or did they just show the graffiti?
Well, they showed the graffiti, but like a recurring storyline in Batwoman is the fact that now technically they're not cops. They're like Gotham's fucking security company that they have a contract with and they're allowed to operate as cops. So they are not technically cops, but they functionally are cops.
You ever play GTA 5?
Yeah.
It's someone help me, please. You have to
the
know
FIB.
What?
The FIB.
Yes. No. The other one. The one the private army one. The fucking like
the Pinkertons?
I think it's the Pinkertons.
That was in Red Dead, but yeah.
No, fuck, no. What is it? Someone help me.
Yeah, so the company's called the Crows, and they're a private security company, but they have an ongoing contract with the city. So Crows agents are deputized like law enforcement.
Merryweather Security.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, you're just describing Merryweather Security in Gotham.
Well, the difference is that the Crows are literally deputized by the city, despite not being formal members of the police department. So, officially speaking, they are cops in terms of their job duties and authority and everything.
How many of these guys are there?
Enough that they're basically, whenever another show would bring in the cops, they bring in the Crows. So clearly, like hundreds, if not thousands.
Well, I guess we're now heavy rockers.
True.
Because we've officially been counting crows.
I know. Anyway, so because there's the thin veneer of fictionality over it, Batwoman was allowed to be way more fucking hard hitting with its commentary about police brutality and everything.
I don't feel like it's commentary if you put a veneer of fictionality.
Well, I mean, it's still commentary.
But like it can be easily parried with the "that's not us."
No, I know, and it's a CW show, so they're limited by what they're allowed to do. But the point is, like one of the main characters on the show is a black guy, and they did a whole bit where a corrupt Crows agent shoots him for no fucking reason.
Yeah, that's
And like he almost dies. The only reason he doesn't is because of some magic bullshit they whip up.
magic bullshit.
We. Yeah, so like I mean, it's to the point that one of the characters who's a member of the Crows for the first 2 seasons resigns at the end of the second season because she recognizes that the rot goes all the way to the top. Or should I say all the way to the bottom. So she just resigns and spends the third season as like basically a PI/vigilante.
Okay.
Now, luckily, the Crow's agents are paid very, very, very fucking well. So in her case, you don't really have to worry or wonder why she's not suddenly homeless.
I don't want her homeless.
Well, yeah, and again, her character is like a decent person, which is why she quits at the end, because she realizes how fucked up they are.
I can't imagine what it would be like to like work for an organization like that. Could you work for ICE?
Fuck no. Now, granted, the Crows, as depicted in that show, are not as bad as ICE, but
dude, you wouldn't just love working for ICE?
No. No, I would actually fucking despise working for ICE.
Yeah, I'd probably end up in problems if I was working for ICE.
It's better to sell drugs than like a lot of fucking jobs, if we're being real.
Hold on. To be clear, as long as you're not selling fent, you're almost always not in a problematic zone selling drugs. If you're selling fent, you probably are missing a shotgun hole in your chest. Sorry, bud.
Yeah, when I say selling drugs, I mean 1, to adults only, and 2, drugs that will not instantly kill them.
Yeah, no fent. Like if there's fent, you deserve a hole in your chest. But like,
yeah, I mean, hell, like if I were a drug dealer and I was like, for example, selling coke, even if I was only selling it to adults, I would, if it was the first time, I'd give them the rundown on the dangers.
Dude, if you're selling coke and you're selling the first timers, I feel like you're not selling coke right.
No, I mean selling to the first time buyer, not like the first time they've ever done coke. But if it's the first time they're buying it from me, I'm giving them the rundown.
Yeah, no, like So essentially, what you're saying is you're gonna do the speech from Pulp Fiction.
Which one?
The fucking the like what he gives as he's showing Vincent the drugs.
No, because he was just talking about like the chemical traits of the drugs. I would give like a health class fucking like essentially a safe consumption site fucking lecture.
Dog, that's a lot of work for a salesman.
Yeah, I know, but I care about my customers not fucking dying, so.
Dog, it sounds like you need a team. This is a whole organization at this point.
I mean, maybe.
This
anyway, Arrow had its fucking... Did I break your concentration? The coke would. Anyway, we were talking about Star Trek, so now that this 30-minute stun lock is over, Star Trek 6 is really fucking good. There's some cool shit in it. Shatner is a fucking good actor, which nobody gives him credit for.
I feel like he gets credit for it. He just also gets credit for a lot of other things, such as the collection of 6 or maybe 7 albums of covers.
He gets one of my favorite fucking overacting moments in this movie, actually. So do you remember how the movie ends, roughly? Like the rough sequence of events?
No.
They have to stop the delegate guy from Klingon from getting assassinated so that the peace deal can go through.
Yeah.
And they find out that, like, a little sect of Klingons were trying to sabotage it. So they have
Yeah,
they get to have one last dogfight with a Klingon bird of prey.
I remember this.
And it's a new model that can fire while cloaked, which the previous ones couldn't.
Whoa.
What?
I just like the slow it can shoot while cloaked. And like at the time, we're like, okay. And then soon, so soon, you're gonna find times that matters.
Well, it matters in this movie.
Well, I
know.
I know, but it doesn't matter the way it's gonna matter.
Oh, I know. But so anyway, this is like the prototype. So there's only one of it as of this movie. And so this final fight, they're getting their fucking asses kicked because they can't detect it visually or on scanners.
Yeah, that thing just shoots you and it's gone.
Yeah, and so eventually, I forget how, some technobabble nonsense, they come up with a way to fucking see it.
Yada yada, echolocation, yada 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 in space.
No, I think what it was that even while cloaked, it still gives off like a radioactive signature when it fires, something like that.
Yeah, but then if we send out a pulse, then echo yabba dabba da.
Yeah. So anyway, they finally figure it out in the middle of the battle. Everything's getting fucked up, and they yell out, "Locked on, sir!" And then Kirk stands up out of his chair, puts his foot up on the railing in front of him, and goes, "Fire!" It's just such a great fucking like overacting moment from Shatner. It works though because Shatner won. Like the whole movie is about Kirk reckoning with his own kind of bigoted feelings about Klingons and realizing he was wrong. But you can tell there's a little part of him that got some satisfaction out of getting to blow up one last ship.
Yeah, dude, he wanted to fuck that dude. He was right for. That's why Kirk's a cowboy, is because he leans into his own feelings.
Yeah,
which is bad.
And something I really appreciate about the movie because you remember his son from 2 and 3.
I remember David.
So yeah, David. Yeah. So that actor, Merritt Buttrick, died really fucking young of AIDS. Like he died like a couple of years after the movies. Like he was really young.
We can make fun of him dying.
Why?
Because AIDS is funny.
I guess. I turn around for 1 minute, and now not only is Nick not Larry now, but now James Cameron has entered the chat. James Cameron's entrance is always an improvement. Anyway, so
Nick has switched from Larry to James Cameron. What has happened?
So what I was saying was, so he's reckoning with this fucking bigotry, and he wanted to fuck that guy up. David. So the actor who played David died only, I think, like 89. Damn. Like he was only like 27 or 8 years old. He was really fucking young.
Oh, my heart.
Yeah, so partially because in tribute to the character, but also a big part in tribute to the actor, they made sure to include multiple shots indicating that Kirk has a photo of David on his desk.
Well, that's nice.
Well, not only to make it sure it was visible, but the primary motivator for his bigoted feelings towards Klingons is the fact that Klingons killed his son.
They killed my boy.
Well, the exact line, which I remember because they play it like 4 times in the movie on audio recordings, is that he says into his personal log, "I've never trusted Klingons, and I never will. I can't bring myself to forgive them for the death of my boy." Which then gets hacked and played as evidence in his Klingon court trial.
That's so awkward.
Yeah, well, that's why I remember the line, is because in the trial they play it like twice. Like twice in a row, and we heard it once earlier in the movie. But like anyway, at the end of the movie, Kirk realizes that maybe he was wrong to judge all the Klingons by what fucking Christopher Lloyd did to his son in Star Trek 3.
Maybe they are like us.
Yeah, it was Christopher Lloyd in blackface.
How bad we talking when we say blackface? Pull it up.
Not bad at all. It's just
put it on the screen.
Yeah,
let me see it. Let me see the blackface.
Yeah, I don't mean blackface. I just mean like darkened makeup somewhat.
Also, I do think it's funny that people are claiming that whiteface is a thing now.
I mean, it exists. It's just not the same thing as blackface.
I just feel like it's twisting words.
Oh yeah, it's total fucking bullshit.
Like
Anyway,
I just feel
that's
like
what he
that
looks
term,
like.
1.21 bottles of blah.
He actually gives a fantastic villain performance in Star Trek 3, by the way.
Oh yeah, he always does. He's a good actor.
Well, I know he does, but like when I watched that movie, I remembered it not being as good, and I was like, damn, I forgot how good Christopher Lloyd is in this movie.
Oh, true. That makes sense.
That actually is the thing with Star Trek 6, whatever minor flaws it has incredible fucking dialogue the whole movie. And
Oh,
it's shot great because it's the same director as Wrath of Khan, so it's shot really fucking creatively the way Wrath of Khan was.
oh, I get you.
Yeah, it's not quite as good just simply because the material they're working with isn't as good, but
Rip.
not that it's bad material at all. It's still like above average for Star Trek. It's just that Wrath of Khan is like special.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
But yeah, there's some really good shit in there. That the small role from Brock Peters playing the opposite of Tom Robinson was great. Kurtwood Smith makes a small appearance as the president of the Federation, who I
Ooh,
thought was supposed to be a Klingon because he looks exactly fucking like one, but I guess he's not supposed to be a Klingon.
what is he supposed to be?
Some other species. He doesn't look exactly like one, but he has long hair, a mustache, and slight ridges on his head.
Was he a fucking Tellarite or something?
He's like a fuck it, I don't even remember what it was. Some other species that like barely ever appears in Star Trek.
Is he a disco snail leaving a disco trail?
I mean, we only saw him sitting down, so maybe he does when he gets up.
Disco wow.
Um, I love that Sulu is captain of his own ship now.
Sulu.
Though I would have liked it if at the end, when they're doing their last cruise on the Enterprise, I would have liked it if Kirk said, Sulu, would you like to beam on board and join us?
Why?
Just because it would be nice for Sulu to get to do one last cruise with his old friends.
I suppose.
And plus, he used to be helmsman for that ship, so it makes sense that for its final voyage, they should bring him back to join.
But he's got a ship to be on.
Well, yeah, but he could leave it for an hour while they cruise.
This is why we need Rikers. This is why we need Rikers.
Yeah, actually, because we don't spend a ton of time with Sulu's new crew, it's unclear which one of them is the first officer, but do you remember who his communications officer was?
Chekhov?
It was Janice Rand.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and in fact, she is. I don't want to go so far as to say it's implied, but it is possible that she is supposed to be the first officer of the ship.
Moving on up.
Yeah, it's a big deal because her character was originally an NCO, so clearly somewhere along the way she earned a commission in the field, which is like kind of a rare thing.
It's hard to get a commission in the field when you're constantly running from war.
True. I mean, she's wearing like a lieutenant commander's rank insignia, so clearly she's like high up there.
Hmm. Huh.
But yeah, they basically, because she was treated so poorly by the executives during the TOS days, the movies, almost all of them gave her cameos.
Yeah, we're sorry for what we did. Here you go.
Well, it's not what we did, it's what that one guy did who no longer works here.
Yeah, but
Roddenberry once said that letting her get fired from Star Trek, I think he called it like the biggest mistake of his career.
That's wild. There's a lot of mistakes in your career, but fair.
Well, that's the one he considered biggest, mostly just because of the circumstance. Because basically, she got fired for reacting poorly to an executive trying to rape her.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, she got Weinstein pretty much.
I think he wasn't successful, thank God, but maybe I'm wrong. But
yeah, it's like Weinstein. It's terrible.
Well, it's not just that she got Weinstein; it's the fact that she was vocal about it and said, "Go fuck yourself."
Yeah, that's. I mean, and then got shit canned. kind
Yeah,
of.
exactly.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what happens when you fuck with Weinstein.
Now, luckily, because when the show ended, that guy didn't work on Star Trek anymore. When they started making Star Trek again, they immediately brought her back.
Uh,
In so in most of them, she just has little appearances, so it's not clear if she's supposed to still be playing Rand or just the same actress. But in the first movie, they explicitly identify her as Janice Rand.
it would be weird if she played someone else.
I mean, Star Trek reuses guest actors all the time, so
Yeah, but we usually give them makeup or something.
you'd be shocked how often that's not true.
Well, yeah, but in those cases, the people don't matter.
She had a different. Her cameo in 3, she had a different hair color, which is why, if you note, the credits just refer to her as Woman in Cafeteria, not as Rand.
To quote Tim Robinson, they're not real people.
That is true.
They don't really matter.
Yeah, they. She doesn't have the beehive haircut anymore because it's not the '60s. But what are you gonna do?
God, that thing's disgusting.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
You're into it, aren't you? Oh,
I'm not into it. I just find it charming in the same way I do like the really Technicolor sets. Like it's of its time.
It just feels like one step away from like a housewife just high out of her mind with that shopping music where it's like da 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 da. Like it's just so.
I mean, that's what she would have been if she wasn't on Star Trek.
I don't need bro. Bring Cisco here because I don't need none of this white picket fence Americana that was never for me.
Yeah, I know. What was I going to ask you about Cisco, actually? This isn't about Cisco, but so is there a canon reason DS9 uses a different uniform style, or was it just like, hey, we want to zhuzh it up?
I think it's we're zhuzhing it up combined with Starfleet's gone through a lot of shit lately, so we're redoing some uniforms again.
Yeah, because Dr. Bashir like makes a guest appearance in Next Gen, and it's like he's wearing the new style uniform and they're not.
Yeah, I think I feel like most of them swapped, and like maybe the old crews just didn't.
Well, in Generations, they start doing it because you'll notice that like throughout Generations, there's a mix of both uniform styles on the ship.
True.
And hell, like Picard wears both at different points in the movie.
Excuse me. He does?
Yeah. In fact, like halfway through the movie, he switches to the new style, and he spends like most of the movie in that. But in the last scene, he switches back to the old because they're making one last visit to the bridge of the Enterprise, and both Picard, the character, and the crew of the movie felt that for that last visit to the bridge, he should be wearing the uniform he wore in the show.
The classical.
I prefer Star Trek uniforms with more color myself.
I like when they look dynamic.
That's part of it. Like I love the uniforms from the movies, but I'd love them if they were like the Admiral's uniform.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like it's a great looking suit. It's just that it doesn't look different enough depending on rank and department.
It looks good. It just needs a different place.
Yeah, because like one of the things I really like with TOS and with TNG is that you take one look at a fucking background character and you know which department they work in based on what color they're wearing.
Up until they swap, but then you know it again.
Well, even when they swap, like the shoulders are very different colors, so even that's fine.
True.
What I hate is when you get like the next gen movies where they all pretty much wear the exact same color, but like maybe the turtleneck is different.
Yeah, it's like, oh, see, get it? It's a reference to our uniform. Shut up. I hate that shit.
I also fucking despise the uniforms from the motion picture, but everyone does, which is why they didn't bring them back ever again.
Can you pull up those ones? Because I forgot what those ones look like.
Literally, the reason I gave Star Trek the motion picture 4.5 out of 5 instead of 5 is because the uniforms are so fucking hideous.
That's a wild fucking reason.
It's distracting how ugly they are.
Okay, that I can get with.
Like, the cast and the crew fucking despised them, which is why the second they started production on the second movie, the first thing they did was change them.
So I just want to throw something out here while you're doing this.
Yeah.
I really hate how boomers still complain about self-checkouts.
I know. Yeah, here it is.
I hate anyone who complains about a self-checkout.
These are fucking hideous.
I mean, I'd fuck.
I'd fuck some of the people in them. I would not fuck anyone wearing the uniform.
I'd fuck them while wearing it.
Oh, good for you. Like, these are fucking ghastly. And because the movie had a huge budget with a lot of crowd scenes, they had to have like 500 of these made.
Do you know what that makes you think of?
What?
That's something from a fucking Dr. Seuss book.
It really does. What in God's name? Yeah, there's a reason they switched it afterwards.
It's a fucking. It looks like it's from a goddamn Dr. Seuss.
Now
book.
this I like. This guy did. He did like a Photoshop mock-up of what the movie uniforms would look like in the TOS colors. Now this I like.
I mean, it's. I feel like we could have just HD'd our colors a little bit, but I get the point.
Well, this is from 14 years ago. This post.
Still could have HD'd our colors because 14 years ago was 2012, my boy.
Yeah, I know, but still, maybe
14
the guy was fucking poor.
14 years ago, the Mayans said we'd already be dead. Just consider that. But fucking, I just want to rant for a second because
Okay. About boomers and self-checkout.
I don't understand how, like, I've had a lot of people lately say things to me about like, oh, do they want me to do it myself? Oh, I don't work here, and I've kind of come to this weird conclusion. Everyone goes online. You are all now normalized to online shopping. 20 years ago, I know for a fact you weren't.
Oh, I know.
Mom would be scared to put her credit card onto a website, and now people would just be buying like anything willy-nilly. I'd be fucking typing my credit card in to get picked up by a stranger in their car. Like,
I know it's fucking. And I love self-checkout because it means one, if you really want to, you can steal. That's a joke.
What?
That's a joke.
What?
No, but in reality, even if you're not doing that, I love self-checkout because my ass moves faster than most people.
I like self-checkout because I try to interact with people all the time just because I have to buy something.
Oh my god, dude! During
I get
COVID,
anxiety about having to talk to people with because you know I don't care about you. I know you don't care about me. Can we not like lie to each other? Can I just get this drink and like not have to talk to you to get it?
Oh, dude! During COVID, self-checkout was a fucking godsend because I didn't have to get close to any of these fucking plague rats.
I just think it's so weird that I've had people be like, "Oh, I don't work here," and it's like, my guy. First of all, the work would be dealing with your bitch ass. But what do you think this is? You know how to buy things online now.
I know.
Scan the thing.
Anyway, we should go in a minute because I'm sweating my fucking balls off and my edible's going to kick in soon. But before we go, we have two things to talk about. One, have you watched the new Stranger Things cartoon?
No, was I supposed to?
I mean, you don't have to, but it exists. It's all right.
Do I have to watch Stranger Things?
I like Stranger Things a lot. My most normie fucking take is how much I like Stranger Things.
That's your most... I feel like you had a couple normie takes.
That's my most normie one. Like, I will defend Stranger Things against most accusations people throw at it.
What's your thoughts on Matt Groening's work? Or however you say his name.
I haven't seen his Netflix show about fantasy, whatever, but I've seen all of Simpsons and Futurama, and they're both very amusing in their prime.
the entire. Oh, okay. Never mind. But the entirety of The Simpsons, like you still watch Simpsons?
I do still watch it.
That's
I
crazy.
don't enjoy it ever, but I still watch it.
That's a fucking chore. You fucking have to sit down every Sunday at what is it, like 7 p.m. and fucking watch a new episode of The Simpsons?
To paraphrase something that Bill Maher, of all people, said that unfortunately lives in my head forever, I have handcuffed myself to this dead hooker. Now I have to drag it across the finish line.
Bro, I just to play into your metaphor. If you're handcuffed to a dead hooker, she's dead. You can break her wrist.
No, I know.
You're not handcuffed to a dead hooker. You just have a dead hooker in your handcuff.
Anyway, I'm not calling Stranger Things flawless by any means, because it definitely like has issues. It has the same like standard issues that most Netflix stuff suffers from. And there are times where in the background you can basically see the writer's room going, oh fuck, we didn't mean for this to go past season 1. What the fuck do we do now, man? What the fuck do we do?
What do we do? Yeah.
But I think they stuck that in most areas they stuck the landing pretty well.
Oh, actually.
Less so as it goes on, but like anyone who claims season 2 had an immediate drop off is full of shit.
I actually have a super relevant Stranger Things thing.
What's that?
Wait 1 second.
Okay. You guys want to see some more of these hideous fucking Star Trek uniforms? Look at this. That is fucking ghastly. And it's such a shame because this movie is otherwise absolutely fantastic. It's just so fucking distracting how ugly the uniforms are.
My new DM guide came in for fucking 3E.
Hell yeah.
Because I want my players to suffer. And we ain't just playing 5 like a bunch of noobs. We're playing 3 and you're taking fucking like will checks and shit. It's awesome.
Anyway, the new Stranger Things cartoon is not as good as the live action show, but it kind of fits because the whole point of the cartoon is to be like a modern version of a Saturday morning cartoon.
How many times are we going to get that?
Well, specifically a Saturday morning cartoon based on something that isn't for kids. Because back in the day, like every fucking R-rated action movie got a Saturday morning cartoon toned the fuck down for children.
Sure.
So this new, it's called Stranger Things Tales from 85, is kind of intentionally doing the same thing. It's intentionally like toned down for kids.
I get it. I hate it. I hate toning down anything for children.
Well, when I say toning down, I mean like the level of swearing, not like the seriousness with which the characters take the plot. I just mean that like they don't swear anymore, basically, and it's not quite as violent.
This is total drama-rama all over again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to defend this cartoon that hard. It's just that it's better than I expected it to be.
Do you remember Total Drama Island?
I only watched the first couple seasons, but yeah, I do.
Oh, but the first season was the best.
Yeah, I saw that, and then I didn't like it as much, starting with action, and eventually they moved it to a new time slot without telling me, and I just lost track of it.
I think there was another thing that had Chris what the fuck's his name?
I don't remember. The voice actor was in another show by the same Canadian company called 16, but he played a different character.
Wait, he's in 16?
Yeah, he's the stoner guy. The guy that they can't admit is a stoner because it's a kid's show, but he's clearly
he's a stoner.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a fucking stoner.
Yeah, that's the same actor as same voice actor as Chris.
I wasn't sure if they just sounded similar, and I was assuming that.
Now, let me ask you this, because I only watched it on Cartoon Network. Was it originally in French or was it originally in English?
To my knowledge, it was in English. I think it was Toronto, part of Canada, not Montreal, part of Canada.
I thought I heard someone say it was French because I heard someone say that, and then I would watch it and occasionally notice the lip sync being off.
Hold on, let's fucking find something else.
Maybe it just had 2 dubs made simultaneously, like an anime does. I mean, it doesn't matter. It was just because because I would be watching it, and sometimes the lip movement would be out of sync with what I was hearing, and I was like, "Oh, I wonder what that's about." And then I heard someone say it was in French, and I was like, "Oh, so it's dubbed." Okay.
I'm not seeing anything saying it was French.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. I must have misread that on IMDb fucking 20 years ago, but
I mean, because I thought it was just Flash animation. That was just a little janky.
yeah. Well, also what I didn't know then but know now is that very often in animation dialogue gets changed at the last minute, so that's probably what it was.
Yeah,
I know with 16 they occasionally like dubbed shit out because it was deemed appropriate for kids in Canada but not appropriate for kids in the US.
yeah, they really
Like the gay jokes they always dubbed out.
they're also them kids were horny.
Well, I mean, yeah, they left most of that in because like as long as we're not seeing it, it's appropriate, I guess. And they also left in that one where the goth girl had like explosive diarrhea like on cam.
Yeah, but that's just because some guy was into it.
But I remember
There was just one guy and went to the studio. Was like, we need that.
well, I remember there was one episode. I don't remember what they dubbed it with. But like she said, I thought you guys were, and I don't remember what the dubbed one was, but I noticed it sounded wrong. Like it sounded like badly dubbed in. So I went back, and the DVR I had at the time let you go frame by frame,
Yeah.
which a lot of them don't now because fucking Obama took it away from us or whatever. So I rewound, I paused it, and I put it in frame by frame mode, and I watched her lips move as the dubbed part of the sentence was said. And if you watch the lips move, you could say them spelling the word gay. But they dubbed it with something else.
I thought you guys were roommates.
Well, like, yeah, the line is supposed to be, I thought you guys were gay, but then I think they redubbed it to be like, I thought you guys were friends, or I don't know. Something lame that didn't make sense in context.
I thought you guys were butt fucking in the back alley.
One of these days for the Patreon, I'll show you this, but the network TV dub of Die Hard 2 is like fucking infamous for having all of its swears replaced with shit that makes no sense in context.
Listen here, buckaroo. Like,
well, see, Snakes on a Plane is infamous for that too, but with Snakes on a Plane, they leaned into it on purpose and made it sillier than it needed to be.
Listen here, mother rascal. Well, I don't want to hear none of this.
If you watch the fucking dubbed version of Snakes on a Plane, you'll notice it's actually Samuel L. Jackson doing his own dub because he thought it was funny that they were doing a safer work dub of that movie, so he came back for it.
Because it is funny.
But like Die Hard 2 was just made in a hurry by some random people, so like none of the dubbed lines sound good at all because Bruce Willis didn't dub any of them.
It's like Eminem did the same thing for My Name Is, and I find that very amusing.
I remember
radio version's just like a bunch of nonsense all the time because you can't play most of the song.
So twice throughout Die Hard 2's TV cut, they replaced the word fuck with the word joke. And they found an actor who sounded, yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon. That's the famous one. And there's no character in the movie named Mr. Falcon either. He just calls the bad guy Mr. Falcon for no reason.
Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon.
The closest connection you could draw is that the guy's plane, like 2 hours ago, used the call sign Falcon 1.
There we go. He got him.
That's I guess. Falcon. Like, it vaguely makes sense. Anyway, so for like, there's this early line where the villain says to a journalist, she says, do you have any, can we have a word? And he says, you can have 2 words, fucking you, and then walks away. And they dubbed that with the word joke, joking you, which doesn't make sense. And they got a guy who kind of sounds like William Sadler, but not really, to do the dub. Later on, when they needed to dub John McClane saying fuck off, they just used the same recording of the word joke, even though this actor sounded a little bit like the bad guy and nothing like John McClane.
I love that.
Yeah, and unlike later versions of this, they were not doing this on purpose.
Nope, they were just, oh my god, that's great.
The Blu-ray I have of John Carpenter's The Thing on the bonus disc comes with the network TV edit of The Thing. And not only is it dubbed to hell and all the gore is cut out, but it's re-edited. Like there's a narration to explain shit and scenes are in a different order and everything.
That's weird.
And it really shows how important editing is to a movie because it takes the exact same scenes, puts them in a different order, and it works like 10% as well.
Yeah.
Couldn't say something like "forget you." They could have, but it wouldn't have. It was too many syllables.
Around town with the girl I love, and I'm like, forget you.
Yeah, note that in that song, there's a longer than normal pause between "I'm like" and "fuck you" because he knew he had to write the radio edit in.
Listen, CeeLo Green saw the green.
Yeah, now that one works in the censored version. What doesn't work is the line following, "Oh yeah, she's a gold digger." Because you remember what the next line is.
She ain't messing with no broke. That's
very
broke?
similar.
Broke.
No, in
she ain't
that
messing
song
with no broke. I know how the song works, Larry. You ain't gonna tell me how Kanye works.
This is a different song.
Oh,
CeeLo Green's song. He so there's the lyric. Hang on, what does he say?
Yeah, she's a gold digger. Ooh,
yeah, just thought you should know. Yeah,
gold digger.
They didn't replace it with anything in the censored version of the song, so it just says "just thought you should know."
She's a gold digger. Yeah, she's a gold digger.
Well, it just says, "Oh man, she's a gold digger. Thought you should know." That's all it says.
Yeah.
Amazing. I like that they have to take out "fuck you," but they can leave in the like really suggestive sexual lyrics.
This is America, bro. We got very specific rules here.
I'm sorry, can't afford a Ferrari, but that don't mean I can't get you there. That's such a great line.
I mean, I would suggest everyone just goes and listens to Saint Elsewhere by Gnarls Barkley if you want to hear the best of CeeLo Green. But
anyway, we were talking about Stranger Things. Which I can relate that because the cartoon does have a good soundtrack. Not as good as nothing in the cartoon is as good as the main show, but like it's whatever. It's little 30-minute episodes, mildly fun. Watch it with your kids.
I don't know, dog. I'd rather hang out with the AI chatbot from the 1960s I was telling you about earlier, named Eliza.
True. Oh yeah, I did see that. John Oliver did a piece about those recently.
Yeah, them the literal fucking chatbots, bro. I don't give a fuck. We have not got new technology in 10 years, and I hate it here.
Yeah, you should watch the main, like the actual show of Stranger Things. Like, it's very
on D&D TV.
Well, that's the thing, is that they don't harp on the D&D thing like too much. It's more of a metaphor they occasionally bring up.
They have a fucking Demogorgon. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but that's just a nickname. It's not the actual monster. They just nicknamed it that because
yeah, I know, because everything has to move through the fucking lens of D&D, and that's where I'm like, what are we doing?
Okay, but and this is what I mean by I'll defend it. They are 12-year-olds. That's what 12-year-olds would do if faced with paranormal demon monsters.
Oh my god, yeah, but I am tired of a bunch of fucking 50-something-year-olds telling me what they would be like as 12-year-olds in the 80s, bro. They need to take that fucking nostalgia and stick it where the sun don't shine. I'm tired of all of them.
So that's the thing. That's one of the things about it. Stranger Things, at least its start, that's part of why it fell off popular-wise, is because it ran so long that when it started, 80s nostalgia wasn't cliche yet, and now it is.
You know me. I think 80s nostalgia is absolute dog water, and we should all fucking hate it.
Yeah, Stranger Things executes it way better than it should, partially because it's not just 80s nostalgia, it's nostalgia for entire genres of film, regardless of their era. So, yeah, like, it's got the 80s aesthetic, but, like, there's tons of fucking Hitchcock references, or references to, like, gritty 70s cop movies, or, like they take influence from many places, not just 80s stuff.
Okay, but watch this. Watch this.
Yeah, what about it?
Now, I just made a reference to multiple different cop films as well as Alfred Hitchcock. You see, what I
Yeah,
just
okay.
did was I flipped you the bird,
Yeah,
which
I
would
know.
be metaphorical of the sudden impact of Hitchcock's film The Birds, in which actress was actually injured. Yeah, I
I
can this game.
Okay, look, I'm not calling Stranger Things the best fucking TV show ever made. I'm just saying that of all the shows that have done what it does, like its style of content, it executes it the best of any of them.
I'd rather just read Ready Player One again, and that's a
No,
fucking.
don't worry, it is way above Ready Player One. It's more similar, and I know you like this movie. It's kind of like a TV length version of Super 8.
I do like Super 8, but it doesn't. Super 8 was fun.
Well, that's the thing. Stranger Things, whatever faults it has, a big part of it, it's really well cast, and the actors play it so genuinely that even when it's like something hokey you feel like you've seen before, like an emotional beat you've seen before, they sell it so well.
I also hate the face of that one kid.
Oh, Dustin?
Yeah, dude, I just hate that kid's face.
You do know that he has like a condition, and that's why he looks like that, right?
Okay, cool.
No, that's fine. I'm just saying, like, he
I
doesn't
mean,
just
like,
look
no,
funny.
don't get me wrong. He's not a bad person because of it, but he's the one who's actively chose to put it forward as an actor, and so I think that like he's not immune to criticism because it's a condition.
Oh no, I know, and it's just a mild condition. He's not like disabled or anything. I'm just saying that like he does a good job with what he is. He
Just saying,
knows
he's
he's a
an
little funny
uncanny
looking and he
valley.
has yeah. Well, he knows that being a little funny looking, he has to have like a strong acting personality, and goddamn does he fucking pull it off in that show. Even when he's 12, he's doing it really well.
Uh, I
It's just a good show. Like it's a fun show to watch here and there. There's some cool shit in it. There's a fucking awesome soundtrack. Shockingly funny at times.
man, you're right. When you play Fallout New Vegas, I will watch it.
Yeah, I'll get to fucking Fallout New Vegas.
Oh, also,
It's not a priority that you have to watch Stranger Things. It's just that if you're looking for a TV show that you can talk to normies about, it's probably one of the better ones.
but the Normans also move so quickly.
Well, yeah, they do, which is part of why I laugh at like them reacting badly to season 5 of Stranger Things, and I'm like, it's still the same show you liked 10 years ago.
I mean, I'd rather talk fucking Squid Game with the Norms.
Yeah, well, that one works too. I don't know. It's got some good shit in it. I'm a sucker for John Carpenter, for anything John Carpenter.
Do you remember that movie Chronicle?
Yeah, the found footage superhero
Yeah.
one. Yeah, okay,
You like
because there
that
was also
movie?
a show called Chronicle on my local news. So I got
Yeah, not
confused
that.
for a second.
Yeah, not that one. Not that one. The one where it's Michael B. Jordan and
Yeah,
it's the two white dudes. It's like,
yeah. One of whom looks quite a bit like one of the guys from Stranger Things. Actually, it's not him, but he looks quite a bit like him.
no, I know. That's why it's got like it kind of made me think of it. I'm like, like I wish this was just Chronicle. Why couldn't we just be watching Chronicle?
Yeah, I liked Chronicle a lot at the time, but I haven't seen it in over a decade, so I don't know if I'd still like
It
it.
doesn't hold up. I am actually really curious if that shit holds up.
From what I've heard from people who have rewatched it recently, it holds up pretty well.
Because like that was a good movie. I remember at the time I was like, damn, this is like a new kind of superhero movie. This is great.
And
then
I feel so bad because Josh Trank, on the strength of that movie, got hired by Fox to do a superhero movie for them. And the movie it ultimately produced was the 2015 Fantastic Four movie.
Oh my fucking balls.
Yeah. And I think
God.
only recently has he finally directed another feature. Like, it took like 7 or 8 years for his career to recover from that. And the shit that sucked about that movie wasn't even all his fault. Some of it probably was, but not all.
Are you talking about Fan Four Stick?
Yeah, I wanted to make clear which one I was talking about, but yeah, I always call it Fan Four Stick to differentiate it from the others.
We got Michael B. Jordan. We got
Miles Teller.
Yeah. I was gonna say, fucking.
Did you see that meme that was like, this movie sucked so bad I watched Whiplash immediately afterwards just to watch Reed Richards get emotionally abused?
So I actually did rewatch Whiplash like 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
and I can very confidently say he was rushing. No, like he was.
I've actually never watched Whiplash because multiple film classes I took in college required me to read the script for it, so I had to read the script like 10 fucking times.
What does that read like?
Oh, it's good. It's really fucking good. It's just I read it so many times that I was like, I don't feel like watching the movie right now.
No, like I mean, like, are there like what kind of directions are in that fucking script?
Somewhat minimal, honestly. Like if you're talking like camera movement, stage directions.
That's what I was thinking. Because
You're generally not supposed to put those in scripts. I say fuck that and I do it anyway when I'm writing, but generally like the traditional school of screenwriting discourages you from getting too specific with that.
I mean, I go back and forth. I think it depends on what you're writing, but
like what they tell you is the script is really only for dialogue and blocking and like what the characters are doing, like character actions. But in my opinion, like, no, you should be allowed to include, like, you're painting a visual picture for the reader. You should be allowed to include descriptions.
I can see either way. But
I also disagree with the fundamental notion that 1 page equals 1 minute of screen time, because if you're anything like me, it might take you half a page to describe something that's on screen for 3 seconds.
I think that's actively when a scene's rolling in your dialogue and your shit.
I know. Anyway, I cut you off. What were you trying to say?
Oh, I was gonna say the movie actually made me think of you when fucking it was doing a cut back and forth, or not a cut. It was just the camera going woo 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 woo, on a fucking back and forth because they clearly were intent on this all being one fucking scene cut.
I love when they do that. I love when they do it for real. Like, a lot of movies love to do like digitally merged oneers where they did like 4 takes and blended them together.
I think this movie was where they were like, "No, we're actually doing this."
You're right, as far as I know. So,
like it's very fucking fun, and at the same time, J.K. Simmons is a demented human being. I love it.
I know. You know, it's fucked up. No matter how many times I see a oneer, even if it's like clearly a digitally merged one, it still hits, man. Especially if there's either no cuts or very well disguised cuts. Or hell, even if like you can tell where the cuts are, but they're really infrequent. So, all right, maybe it wasn't done in 1 take, but it was done in 3.
Yeah. I mean, that movie is so fucking good, but it is frustrating. But I find it so much less frustrating than Uncut Gems. And no, I can't put it like I actually think I might try the Uncut Gems thing again at some point. But when I first tried to watch that, it took me like 4 sittings, and not of like restarting the movie, but of like me actually being like, nope, I gotta get up. Nope. Fuck.
Yep.
Like I gotta go do something real quick. Motherfuck, you fucking fuck. And I'm just like screaming because like the movie gives me anxiety because like I just want to reach out and hold his arms like, you stupid bitch. Like
someone on Twitter pointed out that ever since the first Kingsman movie, every movie has tried to have its own version of the Freebird scene.
I mean, wait. Okay, define what you mean by their version of it, because like they can't just have people killing everybody.
No, just like big ass fight scene, all at least seemingly in 1 take, set to a pop song, like like that tone of fight scene. And you know what? I don't mind them all trying to emulate it because it means I get more of the type of fight scene I love.
I like the ones from Kingsman too, where fucking Ellen John's just like, "What day is it today?" I think it's Wednesday.
Wednesday,
Wednesday,
Wednesday.
Wednesday, Wednesday. And I thought the song was about
Him
Saturday.
doing the fucking
Hey, no,
obvious
bitch.
CGI split kick.
Yeah, yeah. No, like Ellen John's just coming to whoop your ass. Like, nice,
Yeah,
nice.
God damn. When are they making that third Kingsman movie they promised us? God damn it.
How does it even work now? Does Egg just run the fucking org?
Presumably Harry does.
Okay, yeah. But then,
Well, they
then
made the prequel movie, the World War one, which was shockingly good. I didn't like it quite as much as the others, but it was shockingly good.
It was all right. I feel like the charm I enjoyed about Kingsman was that I have seen Bond. I understand what a spy movie is, and I want something now. I want something to connect me to that. Stop fucking prequeling. Stop getting retro. And
Well, yeah,
getting...
that was the thing, was that it was a very different... It took itself a lot more seriously, so it wasn't the same style of movie, but it was still very well executed.
Fair enough.
I liked Argyle well enough. I didn't love it, but, you know, it was fine.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it was just fine. It was fine.
I don't know. Maybe they're never doing a third one now. That'd be fucking sad. But if we're talking martial arts, and I can feel my edible kicking in because I'm getting stupid.
See, this is what the people want. The people want to see the bean kick in.
If we're gonna talk
martial
arts action stuff, have you seen the new season of Daredevil Born Again? Specifically the finale from last night?
You told me that you were happy to talk about it. What happened? Did someone get their ass kicked?
Oh, a lot of people got their ass kicked, but do you want spoilers? I don't want to fucking spoil it for you.
But like, where's the martial arts? Just tell me about this martial arts. I want to.
Oh, that's just Daredevil. Daredevil's always doing martial arts.
Well, yeah, but was there something new, something different? Something...
No, I just said, like, speaking of martial arts action movies.
Oh, true. Tell me, it's fine.
So basically the war against Mayor Kingpin finally comes to a head. All the fucking people of the city take to the streets wearing red and Daredevil gear and shit. Most of the cop task force, well, not most, but the ones outside the door reluctantly agree to stand down because they're ordered to just fire into the unarmed crowd, and they're just like, come the fuck on, man, we can't justify that one. So
and people rise up, man, and it's like,
well, that's the thing,
man, and they take down that like dictator, man.
I mean, Kingpin was an actual dictator. I know you didn't see it, so you're just fucking around, but like, no, Kingpin needed to go.
I'm just, listen, it doesn't matter whether or not that's the truth. I'm just tired of corny, bro. I'm just tired of, let's all kumbaya, go and do it together, man.
No, they didn't do it like that at all. Don't worry. It was not like that at all.
It's not right to shoot into the crowd. Enough's enough.
Oh, you mean the cops? No. That's not what I mean at all. No. Okay. The cops were fucking evil in this series.
Okay.
No, what happens is there's, I don't even remember their fucking names, but there's like the cop who's basically the leader of the task force.
Okay.
And then he has like his buddy, like his old detective partner, who's kind of like his deputy.
Sure.
And the deputy, early in the fucking last season, he gets injured, so he's out for a while, and he's like, part of his face is kind of fucked up because he got burned.
Oh no!
And he gets out of the hospital, and he's got like a discharge. He has a free pass, just fucking go home, spend the rest of his life at a desk. He's like, no, I want back in. What?
He's leaking discharge?
No, like he's not. Well, I mean, maybe he is. I don't know. But like he has a medical discharge. He never has to go out in the field again. But he's like, no, I want back in. But in the time he's been gone, the cops went from being cops but behave like normal to fascist death squad who disappear people.
This ain't the cops I know and love.
Well, no.
Good old Brotherhood of Blue.
No, don't worry. That's not what they do. The guy happily goes along with it for most of the season.
All right.
But the seeds of doubt occasionally crop in. Because he's cool with most of what the task force does. He's cool with the extrajudicial shit. but every now and then he sees like, wait, we're going that far with it.
So it's that quote from Community by Britta.
Basically, yes, I can excuse racism, but I draw the and he's fucking black too, which is funny as fuck. Because that always happens in real life.
We can excuse racism.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even remember what the actual line was anymore.
I think it was misogyny.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. So
no, that's why it's mad funny, because she's like, listen, I can excuse the one that doesn't apply to me, but I draw the line where it gets in my fucking yard.
So this the deputy guy, he's cool with it for the most part. Every now and then he's like, hey, cool it, we've done enough here. But like he's cool with it in general.
Okay.
But then one of their guys, whose name I don't even remember, like one of the young new guys who hasn't
Alejandro.
been... What?
Alejandro.
I think he was Latino, yeah. Actually. No, so he's like young, just joined the police department. So he went in all idealistic and he gets thrown into fascist death squad territory, and he's like, he decides to whistleblow. And to Karen Page. Because she's a journalist, you know.
Yeah, well,
and also she works with Daredevil, and he can give Daredevil intel. So he agrees to go back and act like nothing happened, but be feeding them intel the whole time. And he does it. But then the lead cop who's in charge of the death squad, he immediately figures it out. And then when they're in like not a confrontation, but like a standoff with one of the crowds, like peaceful demonstration, cops here mean mugging. He takes the turncoat guy, the whistleblower. He takes him aside to an area where he thinks no one can see, and he says, I know it was you. Pulls out his gun and just executes him, just shoots him in the fucking head. And then yells, they killed, like, to the crowd, they killed him, kill him! Like, they run in and start fucking up the crowd. Using this murder that he just committed as an excuse, right?
That's not good. And
the deputy witnesses that. And that's the moment where he's like, oh, fuck, this isn't what I signed up for. We're killing our own fucking guys now. Like, and with no cause, because he doesn't know why he shot him. He doesn't know that the whistleblowing thing happens. He just witnesses his friend executes a fellow cop for seemingly no reason.
I was fine with the fascism, but now we're turning on other cops.
Well, it'll help you to know this guy is still in prison at the end of the season, so don't worry, he doesn't get off scot-free. So anyway, at the end, there's another confrontation between the crowd and the cops. What?
Who is Scott, and why would he be free anyway?
Scot-free is Mr. Miracle from DC Comics.
Is that where the phrase comes from?
It's not where it comes from. It's an intentional reference to the phrase. I don't know where the phrase comes from.
That's what the fuck is scot-free?
I don't know. Anyway, so there's another confrontation between the cops and the crowd, and this time chief detective asshole guy just says, like, fuck it, open fire, kill them all. And his deputy's like, yo, I'm not just going to open fire into a crowd of unarmed people. And he's like, yes, you are, motherfucker, or I'm going to kill you. So then he, like, when he's not looking, he knocks his friend out and then orders the other cops to stand down, and they reluctantly agree. But the rest of the cops who are in the building are still getting their asses kicked by Daredevil. So there's no cop redemption arc. It's just that one guy finally decides he can't do it anymore. And then he still goes to jail at the end.
All right.
I don't want to spoil everything for you because it's really fucking good, but just Luke Cage makes a cameo.
We love to see him.
Same actor is back.
Love to see him.
He and Jessica Jones are married with a child now.
Said it before, say it again. Every black king deserves a goth baddie. Just mail him out.
And despite being a mom now, she's still Jessica. Like, she's not a radically different character magically just because she had a child.
That never happens.
Though I will say she keeps it together when the kid's in the room. She's not like fucking day drinking with the kid there.
But she could be.
I mean, she could. Like, she's still a hard drinking bitch, but like not when there's the kid around.
Mommy's just got to go to her special little Stanley Cup.
Well, keep in mind that Jessica is physically enhanced, so she probably doesn't get drunk the same way we do.
Oh, I know. That's why that Stanley Cup is just full of moonshine.
It probably doesn't even need it, but she's a lot happier now. I don't think she drinks as much.
Listen, she didn't need it. It's there. I don't know.
And anyway, so 3 of the 4 defenders are now back, and the 4th is confirmed to be coming back in the next season because we have set photos of him. Which is great because I didn't love the Defenders miniseries, but I loved all the Netflix shows that were part of it.
Huh.
Like just that storyline in particular, I didn't think was very good, but I thought each of their individual shows was good.
Oh, true.
But the storyline was the Hand. I never find the Hand very interesting. I didn't find them very interesting when they were just in Daredevil either. Like their season is my least favorite of Daredevil.
It's like we got a cool shadow organization. Wow.
I think it's just because I watched so much Ninja Turtles as a kid that I already know that trope because they also have it, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever, cool.
Yeah, it's the same thing, ain't it?
Well, yeah, it's called The Foot because the original Ninja Turtles comic was supposed to be
it's just a Daredevil spinoff. Yeah,
yeah, like it was a parody of like Daredevil and Ronin and 1 or 2 others.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Daredevil had a mentor named Stick. They have Splinter. Daredevil has the Hand. They have the Foot. The kid who rescues the blind man and gets hit with the can of ooze. The can of ooze cracks on the kid's face, like in Daredevil,
goes down into the gutter,
and then rolls down into the sewer, and
it's these little turtles.
Yeah, Ninja Turtles was just supposed to be a one-off, but then it was a monster hit, and the next thing Peter Laird knew, he was a near billionaire.
Yeah, but like, I just think it's funny that they never deviated. Like, the foot is just the hand.
Well, they're not just like the actual details are rather different. It's just that, like, aesthetically, yeah, they're badass ninjas operating in New York City. Like the actual details of what they do and what they're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, but isn't the Hand less cool than Shredder's backstory?
It depends on the writer.
Fair.
And also, Shredder's backstory being cool at all depends, 1, on the writer, and 2, on the execution.
True.
Because he has the same basic backstory in most versions, but some of them do it a lot better than the others.
I'm thinking of the really complicated one that involves the aliens and shit.
Oh, yeah, that's the 03 one. Yeah, that's different. But a lot of that's original.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, that show, the 03 one is the one, despite having as much original shit as it does, is the one that most resembles the original comics.
Yeah, I just remember really enjoying that whole, like, storyline.
Yeah, the 80s Ninja Turtles that is, like, the quintessential one is actually rather loosely based on the comic it's based on.
Is that the one that all the weird dudes get horny about still?
They probably do that about every version of Ninja Turtles, but yes, yeah. That's the one where April wears a yellow jumpsuit.
That's that one. That one. Because, like, I know it exists, and I just know people get very strange about that.
Yeah, in fact, so April's most famous career is that of a reporter, because that's the one from the 80s cartoon. She's never a reporter in the comics. And in the 03 cartoon, because it's based so heavily on the comics, she again is she's not a reporter at all. She's a like scientist and then later antique store owner. There is one what?
Why'd they make her a reporter? That's such a weird change, actually.
Because it's very loosely based on the comic.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just saying that's just like a weird jump.
Maybe to make her closer to the action, I don't know, but
yes.
Yeah, in the 03 cartoon, there's one episode where she poses as a reporter to like sneak into a place, and she wears the yellow jumpsuit that one time, and then no other time.
Nice, and they're like, "Yep, you got it. Shut the fuck up, everyone."
Yeah, and also, so it was Channel 6 News in the original show. She walks out with it's literally like a piece of paper taped to her chest pocket. It's a 9, and she goes, "Hi, Channel 9 News," and it accidentally falls upside down. Channel 6 News.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. It's a great fucking show.
Nice.
Casey Jones was great. Shredder could actually fucking kick ass in that show.
Oh, I love a good ass kicking Shredder.
Like it's like most of the time when the Ninja Turtles fight him, it's like they barely fucking make it out alive.
Yeah. No, he's like a machine, dude.
Well, literally in one instance.
I was making a joke. I knew what I was
Yeah,
doing.
but like most of the time, for the first like season or two, if they're fighting Shredder, Splinter has to be there, or they're fucked.
He's. I love that.
And like the big mark of Leo's character development at the end of I guess season 1 is that he actually succeeds in defeating Shredder one-on-one.
Why does Splinter have powers?
He got mutated by the same ooze as the turtles.
Okay, so he was just sitting there next to the turtles.
I think he was on the street and he watched the canister. It varies depending exactly how they touched, but like
Sure.
it's something like, you know, he was on the street looking for crumbs, watched the canister roll into the sewer, followed it over, curious, saw the little turtles covered in the ooze, and he was like, oh, they need my help. So he crawled down and tried cleaning them off and got it on himself.
Okay, so even as a rat, he was being wholesome.
Yeah, well, usually part of his backstory is that he learned martial arts as a regular rat, like before getting mutated, which is
That's
fucking
hilarious.
well. So like when I heard that, I always, because you could make that work as just, oh, when he got mutated, his memories became much sharper,
No,
and
no,
he
no,
always
no, no, no,
no.
no,
But
no, no.
hang on. If I were gonna write it, that's what I would do: is say like, oh, as a rat, he watched his master do martial arts all the time. When he got mutated, his memory of watching that became so vivid that he could remember and emulate the moves. But no, they literally depict pre-mutated Splinter in his little cage doing kung fu with Master Yoshi.
Okay, but see, if I was to write that, I would just like have it where it's like inside every rat is just a secret life
Yeah,
of
I
them
know.
really going through some shit, and this guy's really just.
Yeah, fucking that show introduced Hun, who's one of my favorite fucking characters in all of Ninja Turtles.
Oh, he's a good character.
Yeah, that was the first ever version of him. They wrote him backwards into the comics later. That's how good it is.
We're gonna talk about the big Asian guy, right?
I don't think he's Asian, but yes. He
Okay,
was
yeah,
Asian in the 2012 one. He was like a Bruce Lee parody. I don't know if he was supposed to be Asian because he had blonde hair.
yeah. Okay, true. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
In fact, they had an episode written and beginning of storyboarding before the network pulled the plug on it because it was so fucked up. Do you remember the Garbage Man?
I don't.
He was a villain they fought like once or twice. He was like he looked like Mojo from the X-Men. He was this like monstrously fat like tub of shit
Yeah,
who rolled around in like custom made robotic chairs and shit. And he was like he had a garbage island and he was like keeping homeless people hostage to dig for him.
it sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah, in fact, rewatching that episode as an adult, I was like, damn, there's some really overt left wing commentary about the way society treats the homeless in this episode.
The homeless, we should treat them like we treat the garbage.
Take care of it.
Get rid of it. Don't let me see it.
Yeah,
Take care
right.
of it somewhere else.
Anyway, so they had an episode written and they were beginning storyboarding where it was revealed that the Garbage Man and Hun were conjoined twins and that they were separated at birth by like a back alley surgeon and that Garbage Man that the back alley surgeon deemed him defective and threw him in a fucking dumpster.
What the fuck?
Yeah, well, that's why the network pulled the plug on it because they were like, "Yo, motherfucker, this is a Saturday morning children's cartoon show
This is great.
for 6 to 12-year-old boys."
This is great. I love this.
Yeah, I know. I wish the episode listing still includes it, even though they never got past storyboarding. So anyway, my point is Hun is fucking white.
My point is he's white and he has a conjoined white twin, and that's how you know.
Yeah. Yeah, God, that show was fucking. I don't think they introduced Karai, but they certainly were the first adaptation to include Karai. Maybe they introduced her. I forget. They might have. God, it was just such a fucking awesome show. There was so much good shit in there. Just the visual of Shredder getting fucking beheaded, and then his body stands up and picks up his severed head and just walks away with it.
Dog. And you're just like, what?
Yeah, and because I could only find the ones that were on DVD and like it was really hard to find the other ones, I didn't know the fucking resolution of that for like a year. I'm like,
Funny.
what?
That's funny as fuck.
Yeah. Eventually I found out that the 4Kids website had the whole series, but like they didn't for a while. So I was limited to like the one DVD I owned. I just watched those 12 episodes over and over again.
What other 4 Kids shows were there?
Most of it was anime dubs, Yu-Gi-Oh and shit.
Nah, you're tripping, bro. First of all, there was the Mario TV show.
I think that's so old it was before the 4Kids network.
I thought it was 4 Kids and it was Deke or Deke. Yeah, it's Deke. I think. But
I
maybe
don't
Four
know.
Kids was it was 4 Kids, but it was like a different thing, maybe.
Well, 4Kids was the CW's block, and the CW was UPN and the WB network before that. So maybe they ran reruns of the Mario show
Hold on. Four
because they did
Kids.
do that. They did run reruns of shit from UPN days.
Maybe that's what it was. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm really fucking feeling this edible. Holy shit!
You're high as balls.
Not
All
high
right,
as
folks.
balls, but I'm feeling it. Anyway, before we go, so Daredevil Born Again's great. I'm not even disappointed that it's one episode shorter than last season because next week, and it's in its normal time slot, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, we get our Punisher hour-long TV special.
Punisher. I hardly know her.
Written by and starring John Bernthal.
Ooh, that sounds nice.
John Bernthal really fucking understands this character like better than most people. So if he's writing it, I trust it, and I trust it to not be bootlicking horseshit because like he has some degree of like perfunctory respect for cops, like to the sense that he has to be to keep his career. But like he was perfectly happy to act in a whole season of TV that included him cutting cops up with a fucking axe. So
Well, I mean, I'm just saying. I feel like the cops are gonna take Punisher's likeness anyway, so they just kind of let Punisher get away with a lot of shit.
yeah, well that's why the fucking Daredevil built an entire 2-season arc around making fun of cops who wear Punisher icons. Like the task force literally wears Punisher's icon, and Punisher calls them clowns for it, and thinks they're
If you
pathetic.
wear a Punisher icon that's red, white, and blue, it's really funny because like, what are you doing?
Yeah, no, like there's a whole scene where they try to get him to sign off on what they're doing because they like respect what he does, and he's like, "You guys are fucking pathetic."
Because Punisher's thing is like a Spartan helmet, right?
Well, I mean, it's just a skull, but
Okay, for some reason I thought it was like a reference to something else.
originally, no. Several adaptations have given it significance, like in universe. Like
Oh,
the '04 Thomas Jane movie made it like a shirt that his son bought at the park at like a county fair or whatever right before they got killed. So he wears it in tribute to his son.
okay.
Um, in fact, the Netflix Punisher, the one that's still running, they made it based on the X-ray of his head after getting shot
And
because
that's the one you really like, right?
I mean, I like several different versions, but yeah, that's the John Bernthal one. But yeah, because people forget Punisher got shot and injured in the same attack that killed his family. He just survived and they didn't.
Yeah.
And in this version, he got shot in the head, and so there's like an X-ray of his skull with a little chip right here,
The
and
bullet didn't touch his brain.
it's unclear if it penetrated fully.
Damn.
Because like that would be a good like foil thing for Daredevil because their first confrontation ends with him non-lethally shooting Daredevil in the head because his helmet absorbed it.
Yeah.
So that would be a good like mirror image if it was like, oh, it chipped and bounced off his skull because that happens with bullets if they hit at the right angle.
It's possible, just ain't likely.
Yeah. No,
But
not at all. But like that's
half
kind
the
of
shit Castle's life ain't likely.
well, that's kind of the thing. His injuries are supposed to be of a type where he should have died, but he just had so much fucking rage in him that he wouldn't.
Yeah. He just happened to not die.
But yeah, like in season 2 of Daredevil, a whole part of it is like trying to form a legal defense for Frank Castle and they spend a lot of time attempting to determine if that little chip to his skull via bullet is affecting his behavior. They ultimately have to conclude, no, he was going to be like this after that, no matter what.
This is just him.
Yeah, like he doesn't. Like I'm thinking of all because I spent many hours watching his portrayal of Frank Castle, and it's like, yeah, he's a little unhinged because he's the Punisher, but he certainly never displays any cognitive impairment, and he doesn't display any like inability to control his emotions in general. So, like, no, he just miraculously survived uninjured, and he's gonna make that New York City's fucking problem.
He's gonna fucking make you deal with it now.
I love the Punisher so much. I remember buying that first volume of it. I was like 16. I told my mom this yesterday. I bought it because I was like, oh, sweet. I'll get to see really well executed R rated violence of Punisher killing bad guys. And instead, I got that in between extended think pieces about the horrific impact of war on people and like the politics of conflict and like poverty and homelessness and the relationship between poverty and crime, and then in between that, Punisher fucking killing people in glorious detail.
Yeah, I get that.
Like that tweet about Garth Ennis. You've seen that tweet about him, right?
I think so.
The one about the Teen
Just
Titans.
gotta go because I'm about to pass out.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Hang on, let me just do this. Garth Ennis Teen Titans tweet. This is the most accurate description of Garth Ennis's writing I have ever read.
Garth Ennis coming up with a new comic idea. What if the Teen Titans all sucked each other off and got herpes? That'd be so fucking funny, dude. Garth Ennis sitting down to write the comic. Those poor fucking kids. They didn't ask for this. Herpes. They're just kids.
That's literally what is fucking writing. It's like someone made the joke the other day, Garth when Ennis lets him write. It's like there are two personalities, Garth and Ennis, and they take turns.
Garth when Ennis lets him write his
like they'll have a I'm pointing back there like I'm pointing at a specific one. They'll have a storyline for like 7 issues about how the Vietnam War basically traumatized a whole generation and they pass the trauma on to their children, and how we're still feeling the political and socioeconomic effects of it today, and how it's weakened family ties and everything. And then he'll also have like a joke where the guy's like, I don't give a rat's fucking anus cum what she thinks. Like,
okay, but like, why does that mean he's gonna write a comic about the Teen Titans all sucking each other off and getting herpes?
Well, he's probably not gonna write that particular one, but like he'll have in the same book, he'll have the thing I described, homelessness, poverty, all that, and then he'll have like a joke where a guy is like lost his hand in an accident. And he's got a hook hand, and he's like, I wonder if I can jack off with this hook. Like,
yeah,
like you've read Preacher, right?
Parts of it.
All of Garth Ennis's comics are like that.
Okay.
Like it's so fucking good. Bring me the head of Bill fucking Gates. Like there's lines. There's a bit in one of them with this racist ass Irish gangster who like constantly drops the N-bomb.
Fun.
And at one point he's like in a bar and he sees something on the news about like one of his ships getting blown up in the harbor by the Punisher or whatever. And he's like fucking yelling, he's trying to make me his fucking, and then the N-bomb, I'm never going to be anyone's fucking N-bomb. And then looks up and there's 3 enormous, like a 1.5 feet taller than him, black dudes staring at him.
Do we have the frame of him beat the shit out of?
No, it just cuts away.
How do we know he was hurt with violence? That's what we need.
Well, even if he wasn't hurt with violence by them, he gets murdered by the Punisher at the end of the comic. So
nice.
And he's already fucked up, like because when we meet him, he has like a burn mask on because half his fucking face is missing.
Damn.
Yeah, they did a very loose adaptation of this character in the Punisher Netflix show, but he didn't have the burn thing, and he was also only a bit part. Anyway, that was a good show. We got stoned, I got stoned, and we rambled about Punisher and Daredevil and Ninja Turtles. We will be back on Sunday, correct, Nick?
Sunday. Yes, today's Wednesday. We'll be back on Sunday.
Unless something really fucking big happens, like if Trump dies or something, we'll fucking get on because like you gotta. But assuming nothing big happens, yeah, we'll be back on Sunday. Please take care of yourselves. Please install your bidets if you have them, and if you don't, wipe your ass very thoroughly with baby wipes.
Truth.
Um, do
Hydrate.
n- do not wash the inside of your vagina with soap. You'll fuck up your pH balance. Use mild soap on the vulva. That's just actual
Oh,
health advice.
I really feel like you should not be giving feminine health advice.
It's just I'm not giving detailed shit. I'm just repeating what I've read and been told to pass on.
There we go.
Um,
There we go. Okay.
Here's
Okay.
one I know from my mom. Fill your CPAP machine with distilled water because if you don't, it'll get all minerally and taste fucked up and not be good for you. Eat 3 square meals a day. Masturbate 21 times a month for optimum prostate health.
Use the right lube for your toys.
Yes, that is true. Definitely do not use fucking silicone based lube on an or silicone based toy with an oil based lubricant. That'll fuck everything up real good.
Everything will get melty inside you.
Yeah, and also don't cheap out on the sex toys. Trust me.
Um, you probably should pick up that milk and head back to your kids.
Yeah, that is true. If you smoke cigarettes, consider quitting.
Just saying, you don't look as cool as you used to.
Yeah, you can look just as cool smoking a joint, which is way better for you.
Um, Clankers have been around since '66. Chatbots are older than me and Larry put together, and we're never gonna escape them. So, yeah, we should probably just try to make shit regardless. Otherwise,
Larry and Jihad, baby.
here's the thing: we can't be like Metallica and just say, "Well, until things are our way, I don't like it," because things are never gonna not suck.
Being like Metallica does, however, come with suddenly getting good again 20 years after your last good album. Keep in mind.
Yeah, but they're imprisoned by darkness, and that's all they see. It's absolute horror.
I cannot live. I cannot die. Trapped in myself. Body that I hold in cell. They used that in a trailer for the Punisher Netflix show, dude.
Oh, I just played a lot of Guitar Hero growing up.
No, I know, but just how fucking it is so nuts to use that song for a Punisher show.
He's a Vietnam vet. Is it really that wild?
Well, it's wild, and I'm not like trying to sound like a fucking Hillary Clinton here, but Punisher ain't exactly discouraging violence.
Yeah. Neither is the soldier from One. He's just trapped by himself now.
Yeah, it's fucking horrifying. Anyway, we'll talk more about how horrifying it is on Sunday. Take care, everyone.
Don't do drugs unless you're with Larry. Bye.
Goddamn right.